live. Holy shit. Finally. Da, 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 da. Select stream. Yeah, that one. And then share the link. Da, da, da. I wanna be with you. I wanna. What's the name of that song? À, cho tôi đi theo với nơi em đi về. Oh, hello, Alucard. Hi. Give me a second. Hi. Wow. Goddamn. Hi, guys. Hi. That's a lot of people coming in just once. What? 1 second. 1 second. Let me send the link into the thingy. Hi. I miss you guys too. Hello, Peace. Hi, Yash. Hello. My water burn. It's been a while. And hello, Levi Domek. You too, Bamboozle. 1 second. I need to send the link. Oh, that's my Levi Funger. There we go. Hi. Hi. Good to see you all. Give me a second as I advertise stuff. Nơi đẹp trời hơn, tràn đầy đam mê. Would live. Hello. Everybody say hi to each other. Hi. Give each other a little wave. Và đồ ăn ngon. I'm gonna send this on Twitter as well. Em có nghe thấy. Sân dài xuân về. Em có nghe thấy. One second. This better be a good stream. I drop everything it was. Oh god. Well, you're gonna be sorely disappointed a little bit. Well, it depends. So, a few things that have been very clear within our server. We've been designing a TTRPG conversion of Termina. Now, and of course, I'm gonna do some like Fear and Hunger run later on as well. But the main reason why I want to stream this is because there's a lot of progress have been made, and I would like you guys to hop on this little journey with me, and let me explain how can you play the Termina TTRPG. Agwam. Hi, my Waterbird. Hi. You guys play Marvel Rivals? Oh, I've been thinking of trying to get into Deadlock, but apparently you need a link to get into that, and I don't have access to that. So yeah. Nhân ban đầu đây, nơi những giây xuống về, em có nghe thấy tiếng réo gọi. Alright, we're good. Ooh, mic is a little low. Wow. Wee. I guess I just really had to put it close to my mouth for it to the whole thing just falls off. 1 second. New audio device detected. What? Hold on. It seems like we're gonna run into some issue with the audio. It doesn't help that Fat Tail is also just literally laying on my mouse pad. Here. I already feed him, he's just being very clingy. Okay. Can you guys hear me well? Don't suggest USB audio. No, don't do that. Stop. You're laying my hand. I need to get some background music. Somewhat. Is the audio clear at all? If I'm running into some audio issue, I would love to for you guys to comment on it so I can fix and adjust it. Sorry, Bamboozle. I'd love to do a duck stream. I'd love to. I'm just so busy. So busy. This song is fucking depressing. Fat Tail. No. Get out. Idiot. There we go. As I was saying, so I know that you guys wouldn't expect to have to like bring out pen and paper for a mint stream, but in order to make this work, can everyone in the stream watching my stream right now take like a small pen and paper or any type of thing that you can put on a little documents, because I'm gonna be teaching you guys some stuff. Uh, so we are going to firmly give you guys a introduction to the TTRPG system that we are going to be using for the Termina conversion. Yeah, let's do it. Oh yeah, you got a new hearing aid, didn't ya? Oh yeah. I'm going to need like an app I can draw on or something along those lines to help me with this one. Or I could just stream the normal board thingy. There we go. I also got new glasses. Lovely. Oh, speaking of glasses, uh, so I have a very bad habit. Oh, hello. Wait, I recognize that profile picture, but because I can't see your name, I don't know who you are. And also, I go by Mint most of the time nowadays, so keep that in mind. Are you not can tears, right? No, I feel like you're someone from our server. Enigma, hi. Hi Enigma. Good to see you. My water burn is fine. So everybody, I would like you to grab out a pen and paper and everything, and I will give you a very brief introduction to how to play the TTRPG system. Signalis mentioned? I fucking love Signalis. Every single lesbian ever. Uh, I was speaking about glasses. So I got these uh in a shopping mall. It was very impulsive of me, but I was walking around in a shopping mall and I stepped on something, and then when I looked down it was really shiny. So I pick it up. And I guess I own this really shiny glasses. And honestly, it's too small for my head, but I have it now. Do you guys like it? The fun fact is I already own like a pair of this at home, which is the same like collar and everything. Can I wait for the musician to be done? I've been thinking about it. There's a high chance that we might have to rework a few things, because I feel like musician could just be like a reflavoring type of thing, you know? Alright, everybody, pen and paper. I'm gonna get myself a window capture so you guys can actually see what's on my screen. Oh dear. Okay. So for the last, I think I haven't streamed in a solid 3 or oh my god, I probably haven't streamed in like a month. Alright. And during those time, I was busy doing various things. Recently my family got into a bit of like a financial issue, so I've been going out to look more a job. I did succeed. It didn't last a long time, but during those time while I was off, I found I'm sure you guys can notice something very clear right now. There's a little bit of there's 4 documents on the screen right now. So we have been developing a conversion of Fear and Hunger 2 Termina. Specifically, originally it was supposed to be D&D, but we decided to create our own system, and a proof of concept whether the system works or not is going to depend on how well I can explain to you guys how it's gonna function right now, right here on stream. So that's why I want you guys to get your pen and paper out. So I'm gonna make a blank document. So TTRPG, tabletop role-playing game. You basically roll dice to decide the outcome of events and like compare with each other to see what you can do and what you cannot do. And because of that, usually with D&D you have stats like charisma, constitution, strength, dexterity, all of that. We use a very similar system with our version. However, there's a little bit of a twist there. There's a little bit to a twist. It is essentially a simplified version of it. So, let me just explain some basic jargon. We have D20, meaning D20 is a 20-sided dice. A D12 is a 12-sided dice. And then you just keep going lower from there, right? D10, 10-sided dice. D8, 8-sided dice. And then this is the one that most people are familiar with, a D6, a 6-sided dice, which is like the most commonly used dice ever. And that is the lowest dice you can get. So, what do you do with these dices? Well, in our system, the current name that I have thought of is called Termina to Tabletop. Is not the most original thing, but you know, is very simple and people can understand it right away. So let's continue. The D4 is too low, so we're not gonna use it. I have played one D&D session. Don't worry, this isn't D&D at all. So you basically have a fresh start. So now, in our system, let's call these things skills, right? We have body. So another conversion from Termina. Just be patient, relax, it's fine. The body is essentially your ability to tank hits. Like imagine someone is hitting you with a big hammer. Your body is essentially your ability to resist that hit. And it is something that you can assign one of these dice above into. That's right. We are doing the system on a tier-based stuff. Basically, the higher tier your dice is, like a d20 is the highest one, right? If one of your skill have a 20-sided dice as its stats, then it is the best ability you have. So I'm gonna go through each of the ability. So number one, we have body, tank a hit. We have mind. In Termina, classic, always bring it back to Termina. In Termina, your mind is essentially a resource you use to cast spell, but it's also a representation of your ability to basically deal with trauma, horrifying things, and just overall your ability to resist fear. Hi Ari. Hi Ari, how's it good to see you? Good morning, by the way. I'm teaching people how to work with the tabletop system that we made. So mine is our second stat. On to the next one, fight. Now I want you guys to take a wild guess. What does fight do? Take a wild guess. I'm gonna take my headphone off of this one because I look better without the headphone. Fight is your ability to dish out damage. We will come to combat later on, but right now just keep in mind that fight is kind of like your ability to like basically to hit stuff. You want to pry open a locked door, that's your fight. You want to be able to like punch someone really hard, that's your fight. Keep that in mind. LGBTQ level is a status. Could be. It could be. Now, you want me to give you a straight answer, or do you want me to give you a joke answer? Because I can get with both. On to the next one, agility. Now, in Termina, agility dictates a lot of things actually. It dictates how fast you go during your turn, like between you and your enemy, who is going to act first. It also allows you to do 2 action per turn if that is something really crazy. And by converting it to our system, agility is sort of like, it very much keeps the same premise. It's your ability to move fast, it's your ability to react fast, but right now it has an extra purpose. It is sort of like this like middle ground between your athleticism and movement and everything. And agility is what you keep in mind. I hope you guys been writing down everything I mentioned so far. Hi, Fatso. I'll figure out a way to make the queer identity like a status effect. I'll consider it maybe. On to the next dice, because there's a total of 6 different skill that you use mainly for the system, right? Agility. On the next one we have speech. Hey, are you a smooth talker? Hey, are you like someone who's really good with like convincing people and persuade them to do what you want? Your speech dice is where you are using it the most. Because here's the thing, the nature of a role-playing game is that we're not going to revolve around combat all the time. In Termina, there's a lot of NPC, and hey, what happened if you ran into one of those NPC and your speech dice is so goddamn low that NPC just refused to talk to you overall? So that's why speech exists as a skill that you can have. I'm not a smooth talker. Most people aren't a smooth talker. By default, I feel like you kind of just grow into that ability, or you just kind of don't develop it. And that's fine. And that is represented in our system as well. Uh, I hope my students are paying fucking attention. Levi Funger, I'm looking at you. The ones that is not from Twitter. Alright, and on to the final skill. Body, mind, fight, agility, speech. The last one. And it is important as well. Search. Now, search. In previous, the previous name for it was sense. But you can imagine what this search do for you, right? Is your ability to snoop out information. I can tell you like this. An example like this is that, remember that one Pillarman enemy from the fucking... I'm glad everyone was paying attention. Remember that Pillarman enemy from the church that like rams into you? In the game, our character killed that guy by simply beating one of the pulsing thingy of his organ. Search in this serve a really similar purpose in here, is that is your ability to snipe out information from purely your sight and hearing alone. Like, oh, something is approaching you. Roll your search and see if you notice it. Oh, you notice that this enemy has like a really big glaring weakness on his body. That is your search dice, and it is important. And that is the 6th main skill that you are going to be using a lot. We will get to the combat later, we will get to the checks later, but right now, keep note of these 6 things. Alright? Let's continue. I hope you guys better pay attention. Yeah, in D&D term, that would be investigation. That would be your like, you know, perception, like any roles that related to your ability to like see something, hear something. Oh my god, search should probably be like a... Yeah, search kind of surrounds all of the stuff that you think. Now, this is not related to what I'm about to say next, but the previous name for this was sense, and I just found it a little bit too confusing. But because I name it sense because notice the stat 1 2 3 4 5. Sense is your sixth sense. It's a... Let's move on. Anyway, I rename it back to search because I feel like most people can look into the word search and automatically make a like educated guess on what it used to be do. So yeah. So let's continue. Previously I mentioned that you have all these dices, right? You know what, let's make a d4. Yeah, 4-sided dice. The inspiration behind our system came from a game called Kids on Bike, a game that I have previously played in one of my own campaign. And the thing is so simple because it literally uses 6 dice. Now, my dear students, I hope you have been paying attention. Let's make your character right here, right now. So, the higher your dice is, the better you are at that skill. So let's say I'm going to make a character that fights really good. My fight dice is going to be a d20. You seeing where this is going? You're basically assigning these 6 dice into these 6 stats. That's how you do it. Ah, fuck! Ah, that's unfortunate, Bamboozle. But the whole thing will be keep up, so people who want to get into the TTRPG can familiarize themselves with it. Don't just run away. You're in the middle of class here. Bamboozle can leave, but Levi Funger, you specifically had to stay. Sorry. Continue with that. Let's just assign on your character sheet right now. You have these 6 letters. Well, time to assign some dice to them. The lower your dice is, the worse you are at that skill. If I have, let's say, a d4 in body, I am frail as fuck. If I'm getting hit, I am dead. But that's why it makes it interesting, because you don't want to create a game where everyone is perfect and everyone can do everything well. That is just not realistic to how human is. We have things that we specialize in, and we have things that we are not specialized in, and sometimes we just suck at something, and that's fine. Sell Levi for Bam. Um, what's the exchange rate? Like 2 Levi Funker for 1 Bamboozle? Hmm. I'm gonna make my character right now. My D6 is for my mind, cause I'm just like a fighty guy. D12 for my agility, cause I'm relatively fast. For my speech ability, I mean, the only dice left is a D8, so I'm gonna put it there. And for my surge, is a D10. So my guy can fight really well, relatively fast, but he is absolutely weak in his mind and his body. I'm sure that's gonna be fine. I'm sure that's gonna be fine. So now we have had the main 6 stats done. And I'm gonna give you guys like 5 minutes for you guys to finish your character sheet as well. Like decide what kind of stuff you wanna do. Jack of all trades, master of none. Mm-hmm. Oh hi Fatal. I'll get to like character, like, you know, modifiers and stuff like that later on, but I want people to have like the basic premise for it. We didn't soul Levi unfortunately, but you know, you're still here. Oh Levi, this is probably the most hype thing I've had while designing this. But while I was basically like converting Levi onto our system, I can finally make you fair. I can finally make you like a actual character with abilities and skills. Nerves prevent me from doing this, so teacher. Don't worry, take your time. If you can just listening, I would not mind that at all. Alright, I hope everyone has got their character sheet done with the main 6 stats done. We are going to move on to the next part. I'm gonna give this thing a proper name. Let's call them the 6 skills. There we go. So these are your 6 skills. Yeah, you know what? Hold on, let's do it with a table. That's what will make things way more easier. Hi Fato. Hi, good to see you. Add a row below, and then add this thing in. Graphic design is not my passion. I loathe graphic design. Alright, so that's all your 6 skills. My seat partner isn't doing his work, so I won't either. Your seat partner could fail his test, but that doesn't mean you have to fail it as well, buddy. Relax. Okay, so let's move on to the next concept I'm going to introduce to you guys. Checks. Specifically, you know, hey, when I say the word skill check, how much people hear, oh my god, Fatal, stop it. When I type out the word skill check, for those of you who are familiarized with like TTRPG terms, you would know it right away what it means. However, for those that doesn't, well, here I'm gonna give you like a more clear explanation on what it does. Like I mentioned above, eventually when you walk around in the city of Prehevel, you would run into specific challenges, specific like difficulties, things that will make you roll a dice to see whether or not you succeed, essentially. And when that happens, the GM is going to say, hey, the GM is basically just gonna determine the nature of the check. So let's just say, for an example, right? Marina is walking around the city of Prehevel, and she noticed a jammed car door. Marina wants to open the car door, right? Let me just continue with the example as well. Marina wants to open or pry open the jammed car door. Make these things like bigger so everyone can see it better. There we go. Marina wants to pry open that jammed car door. So how does she do it? Well, she will ask the GM, and then the GM decides. GM is short for Game Master. This is basically the person who will narrate the story, who will help you, guide you, like character creation, etc. and etc. Right? The GM will then decide what kind of skill check does Marina needs to do in order to open that door. And in this case, the GM decides that this is a fight check. Notice it, fight. Oh, where does it mention? Right here. is right there. That's right. All of the checks in the game revolves around these 6 dice. If you wanna, like, let's say another example is like Marina wants to see like a guy from a very far distance away. Well, Marina, can you roll me a search check and see if you succeed or not? What's the DC? Give it a second. What's a comment on the growing Mintuinity? I think they are doing a good job, and they should continue to grow. Although I don't support the various other things they do. Anyway, let's continue. The GM decides that this is a fight check, and then the GM will also be able to decide how difficult it is. Now, like I mentioned before, the higher the number, the more difficult it is. And based on your dice, sometimes some tasks are straight up impossible for you. The difficulty is also decided by the GM. And in this case, she decides that the difficulty is, let's give it a set number, right? You're just prying open a small door. Let's make it a difficulty of 10. So now, what do you do with this? Well, Marina will roll. Marina would then roll her fight dice and see if she is able to get a 10. And then this is where the story continues, because ultimately it is a game of chance, it is a game of odds. Whether or not you succeed can be dictated by how good you are at a skill. Let's say earlier, with my character, I'm gonna name him Blorble Blipply. Blorble Blipply. Blorble Blipply has a fight dice of D20. I'm gonna go into hold on, Dice Roller Online. There we go. Blorble Blipply has a dice of 20, so I'm just gonna roll this dice right now. That is a 13. A 13 beats a 10, and that means that I have successfully pry open the door. However, what happened if I roll something really low? Well, that's a 20, so let's do that again. Okay, that's a 12. There we go. So I managed to roll a 2, and 2 is less than the 10, which is the difficulty that was set by the GM earlier. That means I fail. If what a Marina roll with her fight dice is higher than the DC, and DC here stands for the difficulty class. Let's just say it higher than the difficulty to keep it as simple as we can. She successfully pry open the door. Now, however, and then this is a big however, Control C, Control V. If Marina roll with her fight dice is somehow lower than the difficulty, she failed at prying open the door. And then just like that, you have the basic premise of this entire system. It is skill checks after skill checks and roleplay scenario created by those skill checks. You are drinking alcohol for the first time in your life and you are struggling to handle the intoxicating effect. Roll a body dice. You are like seeing something so fucking horrifying. You are seeing straight up the most terrifying shit in your entire life. Roll for me a mind check. And depends on how good you are at that one skill, you either succeed or you either fail. And that's how you do it. I would never drink alcohol at my age. That's good. Never. 1 second. Sorry, Fatel just looks at me very cutely. Don't drink too early. I don't think it's healthy. Hi, Fatel. It's another thing about addiction and the nature of that's a whole rant for another day. Let's not talk about it. But yeah. Anyway, let's continue. So those are skill checks, and that is just one aspect of our system, but is a pretty big aspect. Because ultimately, how Kids on Bike did it is that it was a story that revolves around dice and roleplay. Sometimes roleplay scenarios eventually lead to skill check naturally, and whenever this happens, you kind of just go, "Hey GM, hey game master, can I do this? Can I do that? And then the GM would go, you can try, you can do it. And then they will give you a set difficulty number and how you should do it. And now let's talk about the nature of these checks. Because like I mentioned before, prying open a car door is 10. Sometimes a task is straight up impossible, and those times are reserved for the higher the number, the more impossible it becomes. Like, let's just say, hey, this is a check whether or not you can pick up a mushroom, and this is really tedious, but the difficulty for this is 2. You can only fail this, even with like a d4, you can only fail this if you rolled a 1. That is a trivial difficulty, so simple, anyone can do it. But in the very, very rare situation where you roll your dice really badly, I'm just gonna roll a bunch of d4 right now. See that? This is the one rare, this is the one time that you would fail picking up that mushroom. Yeah. I know it's probably one rusty nail surprise. I will figure out a way to implement it in, because I haven't mentioned it yet, but you see, succeeding with checks is like, oh yeah, you successfully do what you wanted to do and you get some rewards from it. What happens if you fail? Well, failing is where the GM can have some fun back. When the player failed a check, there's a mirage of different, like, hey, tell me if you think of all the bullshit, like, you know, I would call it bullshit mechanic, because those are mechanic that are specifically designed to catch new player off guard. Stuff like rusty nail, stuff like bear trap, stuff like landmine. Those screams to me like punishment that the GM gives to you when you fail to check. So something like a rusty nail could easily be implemented with like Marina is walking around in the overworld. Hey Marina, can you give me a search check? You just want to like scout the area around a little bit. Marina rolls really badly. Okay, you step on some rusty nail and you start bleeding. And of course, we can't do this nilly-willy. We have to make a like set rules for it, because surely it's not gonna be fun for your character to just walk around the overworld and every 3 seconds the GM go, hey, make a search check. Oh, you failed. I guess you just step on some rusty nail. You know what I mean? It's not fun to constantly be punished. It is fun to have some serotonin, and it is fun to win sometime. I know, crazy statement, but winning gives you a really feel good type of feeling inside your gut. Alright, so let's continue, right? So, we have just finished the first step of character creation. What is the next step? Have anyone here knows about soul type? That's right. A core thing that I feel like makes Termina really interesting is that they have an equivalent for the zodiac sign, but it's so much more in depth. I'm going to go open my other documents for you guys to show it right now. Soul type, there we go. Here's the explanation that I have right down. Soul type features are unique and therefore cannot be purchased using soulstone. They are a cosmic suggestion on what your life could possibly be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to follow the path. Because when you read some of these soul type, what the fuck do you mean because I was born in a certain month that my soul type is the like morning soul type? What am I mourning? What do you mean I'm like the dominating soul type or the submissive soul type? Or what do you mean like I have the tormented soul type, right? The way that I interpret them is that they are suggestion. In Termina, we can see this as a constant theme for all the character, is that ultimately their life is outside of their control, and the agency of a character have within the universe of fear and hunger is really sad, because a lot of the time the things that you do ultimately was predetermined by the moment that you were birthed into, and those are your soul type. However, we have seen cases of character going against this idea. Character that are basically going like, even though I was born with the I don't know, the amoral soul type, which is fucking crazy for me. Hey, you were born in this month, I guess you're just evil now. I guess you have no morale whatsoever, right? Someone could be born in the amoral soul type and still be like, hey, I have morals. I think people deserve to live a good and happy life. That is how soul type works. And why is it so important to choose it? Because when you choose a soul type, you get a little bit of a feature. That's right. I spent so long doing this, but I've designed basically every single soul type that shows up in the mainline game of Fear and Hunger 1 and Fear and Hunger 2 has been fully converted into a gamified thingy. And these are basically fundamental things that will shape who your character. Well, number one, roleplay wise, if someone was born with a suffocated soul, they're gonna have some pain throughout their entire life. Or they could not. It really depends. It's really flexible whether or not you can write your backstory. And continue on that point, each of these soul gives you two things called a soul type feature. Let's just call it a soul feature for short. As you can notice, soul features are really defining. All of your dice have a permanent -2. That means whenever you roll anything whatsoever, you -2 from the result. And not only that is bad, really, really bad, that's really damning. Like, imagine you have a D4 for one of your stats, and whenever you roll like the little like D4 dice, what happened if you rolled a 1? Are you gonna go down to -1? You're just gonna straight up fail? That's right, it is a really huge punishment. But coming with the fact that you have -2 to everything, you can also do this. You can spend one lucky coin to combine all the negative modifier you might have into one big positive one. Yes, that is the penultimate ability of the suffocated soul type. Is that because you have -2 and everything, with the cost of one lucky coin, you can have a +2 times 6 is 12. You can have a +12 in a single roll. Now, I'm not mean to alarm you. +12 is a lot. Let's just say you have a +12 on a D4, yeah? This is a, like, let's say this is like a, let's make another alcohol example. You're trying to stomach down some really bad moonshine, and you only have like a D4 to roll it, and the difficulty for this is like a 20. No, difficulty for this is like a 15, right? 3 plus 12 is 15, and you automatically succeed. That's right. Your soul type is really good and allow your character to do more diverse and fun thing, and that's why you choose your soul type at the start of character creation. So I'm gonna keep time. Oop, I go back, please. Let me type. So, character creation. The number 1, you would choose your skill dice spread, and then number 2, you would pick your soul type. Local Hobbit, oh my god, you are. Hi, it's been a while since I've met you. Well, not meet, but see you in my chat. Also, hi River. Hi, good to see you. I didn't get the chance. I was explaining something. Hi guys. I'm explaining. You have no clue. We've been making a conversion of Fear and Hunger 2 Termina, by the way, into a whole like tabletop role-playing game. Not D&D. Very different from D&D. We'll talk about it later, but right now I'm teaching people how to play the system essentially. Alright, so back to the topic that I was talking about. Soul type. So you have done and you picked your soul type. What's next? Say hello to Origin. Now, a lot of these stuff is based on the backstory. Remember, at the start of every single Fear and Hunger Terminal run, you are sitting in the train, you are reminiscent about your earlier life and what kind of choices that have led you to this day. Origin is exactly that. But I'll go on more specific on why it is unique. Origin dictates stuff like, hey, you were born in Preheval. Hey, you joined the Nameless Liberty Underground, and from there you have like these items and these items. Hey, earlier in life you had a really rough time growing up, but it makes you more tough. You have 25 more max hit points. Oh, hi Vero. Hi, good to see you. Um, I can continue to speak. Origin is basically the modifying part of the game. Some of the origins is gonna be stuff like, hey, your fight dice is improved. Hey, this dice is improved. Hey, this, that, this, that, this, that. It is stuff that makes your character better, but is not a skill or an ability. It's more like, you know, you start the festival with 3 bottles of beer and 2 vodka. Hey, you start the festival with a bunch of medicine item. Hey, you start the festival with this like armor set, with this sword, with this and that, this and that. Origin is that. And I hope you guys have been writing it down. Character creation, 2 dot, go down the line, skill dice spread, soul type, origin. Alright, I'll give you guys some time to catch up. And yeah, I'm gonna continue soon. But so far the system is not getting complex yet, don't worry. It's still relatively simple. It will get complex at some point, but I will try to guide you guys through the entire way. And Levi Domek, on your earliest point, there's no mechanic you could give to make it worth it. We're working on it. Right now the balancing of everything is really whack and nothing is in concrete. So as we keep developing the system, a lot of stuff will get changed and a lot of stuff will get adjusted and etc. So yeah. What have I been drawing the whole time instead of taking notes? You know, I can't blame you because I feel like that's just a general reaction in a academics like, you know, setting, that most of the time you just don't pay attention to what the teacher is saying, and that's fine. You will fail your tests unless you can find a really clever way to cheat, which honestly was something that I did earlier, so this is not really a good example, but yeah. Let's continue. So you have got your skill dices done, the 6 main skill, you got it all clear. You have choose your soul type, you got 2 features that you can use and basically make your character better in a lot of different ways. You have chosen your origin, you got some starting items, you got some of your dice is improved, some of your dice are probably worse, some of your stuff is bad. What's next? Say hello to profession. And I'm gonna get that document as well. I have only been writing this down IRL. Please, that is what I expected people to do, because I feel like eventually it will get to too much stuff that for you to remember, and it's good for you to have these like stuff. So let's read the description of profession. Just like soul type and origin, profession are additional choices that you can add to your character during character creation. When you initially choose a profession, certain skills are not available to you right from the start, but you'll be able to spend soulstone later on to get them. Choosing a profession is essentially choosing a skill tree with a few skills already unlocked. And that is as simple as it gets. The way that Termina works is that during like the whole backstory sequence at the start of the game, you basically go through a skill tree. You will get certain skill at the start, you will get certain things at the start, and the rest of them, like I can give you an example, is like with Karen's skill tree, right? She technically can start the game with Persuade and Escape Plan. However, Diplomacy and what is the other one? Lockpicking. Those 2 she does not have access to. And if she wants to get access to these 2, you gotta get a Soulstone. And we'll get to Soulstone later on. But this is basically designing a skill tree of your own, right? Profession is basically that. And I'm sure you guys noticed a few of them already. Henrik's profession as a chef. We also have like Don's profession as a doctor, mechanic, Abella. Literally every one of the main playable contestant has been documented in here. And of course we haven't really balanced it out. We have botanist, which is Olivia, journalist which is Karen, boxer, which is Marco. We got it all set, okay? You notice the way that these are like written down, right? When you initially choose a profession, you get a starting item and then a starting skill. And then from there, you basically choose, like here, when you choose this profession during character creation, pick one skill from the list below to carry with you during the festival. The rest can be unlocked later on. Boom. That's it. I want the player to have some agency on what kind of stuff that they can carry with them. And let's just look at Marco's like profession to like have a clear example, right? Bare-fisted proficiency. You fight with your fist and knuckle. Choosing the attack action while not holding weapons allows you to roll your fight dice twice. We haven't talked about combat yet. We'll get to it eventually. Don't worry. But right now, as you can see, it is basically giving you a skill that is defined to your character. Let's just say, scroll up a little bit. Let's say with Karen. Persuade, convincing your opponents with intellect and wit, your talk action is much more powerful and opens up to more new opportunity. There are two types of stuff that you can get from profession. You have stuff that is passive. Like when you get this stuff, it is always on. Stuff like, oh, your fists are stronger. Stuff like, oh, your talking action is stronger. Like you see on the screen right now. Stuff like that are passive and you can just let it run slowly in the background. And on the other end, we have active skill. These are essentially stuff that, like the name suggests, you activate it to give the benefit. I can give an example, is that Levi have a profession skill that allows him to shoot 3 times. That's really strong, but it is a active skill. So yeah, I hope that I haven't tell me if there's like confusion. So yeah, we will get to the balancing of musician later on, but I'm considering it. Ultimately, the thing about like active skill is that they're not free. There always has to be like a type of resource that will be used when you do that, and we will get to those resources later on, but we want the basic premise done. Profession, yeah. I think that is a good idea. Bang bang. So skill dice, soul type, origin, profession. What's next? Phobia. I mean, you can't have fear and hunger without the main mechanic of fear in the game. I feel like a conversion of Termina without that concept is just impossible. Where is my core mechanic document? There we go. Where is it? Fear. There we go. Phobia. There we go. At the start of the game, as part of your character creation, you will choose a specific phobia that your character has as well. They are irrational fear that puts your character into a disadvantaged position when confronted by enemies that trigger those phobia. And that's it. Here are the list of phobia available. We are quite literally taking stuff from the main game. We have fear of disease and contamination, fear of undead, fear of sex and genitals, fear of monsters and malformations, fear of ghastly figures and ghosts. Like, pick one from any of the lists that is shown on the screen right now. And then what does it do for your character? We will get to it later on. But as of right now, I could say that when you are fighting an enemy that is like causing your fear, like if you have a fear of like, where is it? Like let's say you have a fear of necrophobia, you have fear of the undead, and then you happen to fight an undead enemy, there will be certain debuff happening to your character, and they are detrimental, the same way that this mechanic works inside Fear and Hunger. Except for the part that legit in our lovely game mechanic, this whole system, you're actually allowed to choose what kind of phobia you have. You have a level of control over what kind of fear you have, and that's good. More player NGC is good. In the main game, when you start the game, it is like a randomly rolled chance to get either of any of these stuff. So yeah. So character creation, skill dice, soul type, origin, profession, phobia. What's next? I actually don't remember. Hold on. Let me check. Oh no, I think that's legit all of it. Goddamn. All right, yeah. Congratulations, you have successfully created a character within our system. Is panphobia possible to get? Panophobia is an interesting one that we have not figured out how to implement it, because it's simply just too detrimental. Hey, you are afraid of everything and everything is scary to you. That means you are absolutely shit at fighting every single enemy in the game, and I'm not sure if that is a fun experience to be had, but you know, we could work on it. How the fuck am I supposed to put a horse in a profession? Um, I don't know how to tell you. The current system is built based on Termina, and as far as I'm aware, there's not a playable horse character in Termina. I'm so sorry. That is the honest truth I can give to you right now. There's no such thing as a playable horse. I'm really sorry. I know, guys. I know you guys are really disappointed. I know, I'm too. I really wanted to play a horse, but it's just how life is. uh, God. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Am I seeing it wrong? But I have 25 concurrent viewers. That doesn't make sense. Surely, right? Holy smokes, the T stream. Hi, Hummus. Hi. Everybody, say hi to Hummus. Hummus is the one that has been helping me developing the system. So all thanks to her. Why are we excluding the horse? Cause you fucking tell me. How do we play? Hey, 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 hey. In the main game Terminator, do you see a horse that is alive and playable? Do you see it? I don't think so. I gotta keep it quiet because it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and if I speak too loudly, my family can hear it. How about it's 12, 8, 6, 10, 24? We'll get to it. We'll get to it. There's a dead horse, yeah. Is it playable? Is it alive? And don't fucking bring the centaur into this. Centaur is a different fucking thing. Is it fucking alive? Yeah. We should be able to play a horse that due to the Eldritch Horror can talk is plausible. We'll get to there. I have like because right now the system is really built for human character playable only. The idea that you can play a non-human race in a game like Termina is really interesting to think about. However, that will come with the fact that you have to essentially redesign a lot of aspects that would have worked for a human character onto a horse. I can't. The glaring question is, what kind of job would a horse have? What kind of origin would a horse have? What kind of soul type would a horse have? It's a lot of work to do, and we will get to it because legit there is like some non-human races that is intelligent and like capable of humanity inside the Fear and Hunger universe. But ultimately we can't do that right now. Alright, that's enough. So far I have covered character creation. So let's go back to the other two main aspects of the game. I'm gonna type it out as well. Two main aspects of the game. We have covered skill checks. Like I mentioned before, the GM set a dice, you have to roll that dice, and if you succeed, you get what you want. If you don't, the GM gives you a really bad punishment. We are what? Hi, Sauce Maker. So massive credit where it is due. Sauce Maker and Hummus is the two people that's been helping me developing the system so far, and they're really it's nice to have input. Yeah. Parents turn to glue. I guess that is an origin for a horse. But stop with the fucking horse. Let's focus. So, two main aspects of the game. We have skill checks. The next aspect, combat. Because we can't have a Termina game, a Termina tabletop system without actual combat to go with it. 30 viewers? That's not fucking right. That's not fucking right. That's insane. That's insane. No, I feel like it's... Hey, if you're lurking, would you like to say hi? Just type out a little hi for me. I would really appreciate it, because I feel like it's more likely that they're bots. I I I don't believe my community and audience is that big. Although you guys are very big in a sense, but our main server have like 45 people. 30 viewers? Where? Um oh hi Alucard, hi. I know you're in my community. Let's go back to what I was talking about, combat. The nature of the combat system in this game is that it is turn-based. I know, I know. I would have loved to do it any other different way, but it has to be turn-based. It has to be turn-based. I was here just to also play a game while I listen. I'm glad. Hell yeah. Ah, God. 1 second. My nose. Fangirl. Oh, you were here earlier. I didn't get a chance to say hi to you. Hi, good to see you. I choose the most badass origin and I have no soul type. That's how dark and radical I am. I'm sorry. Will you be posting this after it's done? Well, the thing is, like, it's not done. Oh, sorry. I completely thought that, like, hey, will you be posting all of this after you finish the stream? And the answer is, all this is available in the Discord server. The reason why I have not made a public tweet about this, or like a public post about it, or posted on Reddit or anything, right? Is because it's not finished yet. I'll show you the main page for it. 1 second. So all these are in my Google Docs as of right now. We have core mechanic, profession, soul type, and origin. And that's not done. Because remember, Termina also contains items, armor, accessory, weapons, and most important of all, location and enemies. And none of those are finished yet. Is there a Discord? Haha, real fucking funny. I'm gatekeeping the Discord for a very obvious reason, is that I don't want a very hey, Fear and Hunger is a game that covers very dark subjects of humanity and cruelty. And the nature of that is that when you cover those subjects, there are people who fetishize those subjects that will eventually flood into the community. By making the Discord link to public, people can get in. And I cannot have a degree of control over who gets in and who doesn't. If people are chill in this stream, I might as well send a Discord and everything, so yeah. What a good day to be a LARPing Funger fan. Hey, cheers. I do like that the majority of the people in my community are very understanding people, and you know, yeah. Have I stumbled upon gold? What the awesome? Hey, congratulations, you found gold, I guess. Alright, stop talking about the viewer, you get me fucking nervous. So let's go back with the document, right? I covered the two main aspects of the game, which is being skill checks and combat. How does combat work? Let's go. When I designed the fucking... Oh my god, go back, please. Please. Ma, come on. Alright. When I designed the way that the dice look, I specifically split them into two very important categories. The combat dice and the... where was it? Yes, the combat dice and the out of combat dice. 3 different dices for 2 specific purposes. Body, mind, and fight is the main dice that you are going to use when you fight people. Agility, speech, and search are the main dices that you're going to use out of combat. And because of that reason, when they are evenly split like that, we can have people who are really good at combat can have their turn, and we have people who are really good at role-playing and doing checks in the overworld can have their turn. A way to balance between the two things. I just realized I did the fucking 6-7 thing. I'm gonna kill myself now. Anyway, let's continue. When combat starts, players can take action, and then agility, let me scroll up a little bit. Agility is basically what is going to decide whether or not you are going to move faster or slower than an enemy. In the core mechanics section, in this document that I have made, the combat system. The way the combat works is at the start of the combat, the player will look at their agility dice, and they have 2 options. Either they cut it in half and take the value, or they can roll it and take whatever value it has. And this value will decide your turn order. Uh, Let me go into 1 second. Fear and Hunger Termina Wiki. And let me just give you an example of how an enemy looks like in the game, okay? I call Dave's an agility build. Yeah. I think it's really fun is the fact that every one of these dice, if you're really good at it, it can be a build defining, like a high search build, a high body build, a high mind build, and all that and so on. So yeah, how long have you been working on this? It's really cool. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Oh god, I wish I have a way to check the dates, but the Termina to Tabletop project has been going on for I believe a solid month. And during those solid time, I post all the progress I have onto the main Discord that we all shared. And then Hummus and Saucemaker helped me refine it and tell me, hey, that seems a little weird, let's cut that, and stuff like that. And due to that reason, the system is entirely made by one person, me. And as much as I would love to have help, too much cook in the kitchen can lead to some issue. So right now, I will design the system to the best of my ability and to the best of my vision. And then later on, we will ask people for playtesting. Ask people if they can see, does the system work well for them? Does the system not work well for them? So on and so on. Hi, we're doing something extremely nerd today. We're doing something incredibly nerdy. I argue that the majority of things that you do is nerdy. It's just the fact that the terminology of it has changed from something negative to something positive nowadays. And I like that. It's ultimately just interest and hobby that you do, right? Back to this. I was pulling out the wiki page for a reason. Where is the fucking thing? Enemy list. There we go. Oh, whoa, dig out. I forgot this is the main wiki, so they're not censored. So let's look at this guy. Where is it? Oh, those are evasion rate. Those are not right. I'm looking for the one that says agility. But as you can notice, the way that the enemies work in the game is that each of their limb has a skill assigned to it. Meaning that as long as this, like, the sickle villager, as long as he's still alive, he can use his sickle. And if you cut off that arm, he can no longer use that sickle. Bada bing, bada boom, done, deal, dead. Now, I can't stress this enough. The combat system of the main game Fear and Hunger is really unfair. Player can take one action, and most enemy on average can take 2 to 4. That is not fair, in the slightest. But there is a way to push this into the advantage of your player, and that is determined with your agility. If you can move faster, and if you can if you can cut off the villager's arm before he can attack, you just destroy that guy's action. If the Heartless one is going to swing at you with her sword, if you can somehow make her not do that, you have cut her action. Termina to Tabletop combat is essentially whether or you or your enemy can disable the other person's action. And that will be the base premise you're going to have to consider in mind as you continue. Because it doesn't matter if you can do a lot of damage with that sword. If you can't even use the sword, you're dead. You're dead as fuck. So yeah. Now imagine if the enemies choose to win. That's not how the system works. I'm gonna fucking kill you, Sauce. Let me drink some water. 1 second. But yeah. Continue with combat. So, combat is turn-based. Your agility decides your turn order and who goes first in combat. And this logic applies to both you, your enemy, and your ally. Because let's be clear one thing. The idea that you would go into this festival, hey, when you play Fear and Hunger Termina, do you play solo? Or do you have party member to make your life easier? Because if you go solo, it's hard, it's doable, I know, but Do you wanna, I don't know, like fight Perkele? Not even Perkele, sorry. Do you wanna go fight like, I don't know, you just got out of the train, you walk towards like a, I'm trying to think like an enemy that is unfair to fight early on. Bobby, there we go. Hey, notice a fucking Bobby? You know what's their deal is? They got 3 arms, and each of the arms can act. At the start of the game, you have 10 agility. You can maybe act first, but the Bobby is going to use 3 action. And each of the hit can deal up to 20 damage. And I'm telling you, they add up over time. Having party member is really good, and we really encourage the idea that you should be able to collaborate with your ally during combat to the best of your ability. Yeah. Oh, my back. 1 second, I've been leaning way too much. Let's continue. Decide to who goes first. Who goes first in combat? Both you and your ally and your enemy. So let's continue. So what kind of thing you can do during your turn? The first thing is the fight action. And yes, I categorize them like this to make them as simple as I can. You'll see it. Fight action are basically you going, I'm gonna hit you. And that's it. It's as simple as that. It's just initiative. Well, the thing about initiative in D&D is that you only rolled it once during the start of combat. Agility is flexible because agility... No. Hey. Have you guys heard of this thing called bonus action in Fear and Hunger? Where if you have 16 agility, you are allowed to act twice? That's right. That logic applies here too. That mechanic is lifted to here. Your agility decides more than just your ability to move first in combat. And we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Wait for it. So number 1, fight action. You, oh, right. When you fight someone, you declare a body part that you're attacking towards. And of course, with every single enemy in the game, they very specifically have a full, sorry, I'm gonna point to it. They have a full list of what kind of body part you can target. You can either target the torso, the right arm, the left arm, the right leg, the left leg. It's so specific. And I feel like something like that could easily be poured over into our tabletop system. The GM simply just gonna go, hey, you've been ambushed by the sickle villager. And then they will describe it like this. On his left arm, he holds a sickle. And on his right arm, he holds a hammer. And then he is going to swing at you. What do you want to do? And during your player's turn, they can be like, okay, I'm gonna choose the fight action. Now what? You, the player, will declare what limb of the enemy you are going for. So let's say Marina is going to fight with the sickle villager. She is going to say, hey, fuck you. I'm going to attack your left arm. So Marina is going to attack her left arm. What's next? After which you would then roll your fight dice. There's a reason why it's called fight. It's for fighting. I know. The more simple the name, the easier it is for people to understand the mechanic of the game. You would then roll your fight dice and see how much damage you deal. And I have some unfortunate news for people who decide to use a d4 for your fight dice. You're gonna be using it a lot. This is a point of debate that I've been considering, is that maybe we instead of doing like hey, from a d4 to a d20, it's probably more beneficial for and more balanced for our player to have access to, you know, higher dice instead of just having a d4, because eventually this will lead to a situation where all of our player is going to put all of their good dice to the combat one. Because as much as I love to balance out between the two, realistically, the main way you're gonna die in this system is through combat. And if you don't have really good combat dice, you're gonna die a lot. and there's no way to revive you. There is, but we're not gonna talk about it because it's really annoying. So, yeah, good luck. We'll talk about the balancing of it later on, but this is just the base premise of it, right? So, you would roll your fight dice and see how much damage you deal. Um, we will continue with how to cut off people's arm later on. Keep that in mind. Wait for it. Alright, so that is the fight action. So, surely in a turn-based combat system, surely you can do more than just fighting, right? That's right, say hi to the guard action. And I want you to take a wild guess what the guard action does. Is yeah. um I really need to pee, so I'm going to be right back. But while I am gone, I hope for the people who are late to the stream, for you to have a chance to grab a pen and paper and write down the base premise of the game right here. And then when I'm back, you guys will have just like a more clear idea on what it does. I love running. Happy for you, horse. Happy for you. I'll be right back. It won't take long, just like 5 minutes. Okay, I am back. Hello, hi. 44 viewer. I'm I'm fucking intimidated. That's hey buddy, normally our stream get like hey, the most happiest moment in my life is remember there was 13 viewers and 12 of them were chatting and we were just having just the greatest time on earth. There are 44 people watching me right now. No, no, no. Don't care about it. Don't care about it. If I care about it, I will go insane. Posted my dice in the Discord. Lovely. Um, let's give a brief introduction. Hello everybody. My name is Mint, or T. Well, you know, I had my name as T for a solid 2 or 3 years, but I've decided to like, you know, try something new. So, if you guys would like to refer to me as Mint or T, I wouldn't mind either way, but Mint is better because that is a more newer one. And here at this channel, I cover Fear and Hunger Termina. I am incredibly passionate about this game, and I love Fear and Hunger Termina in general. I feel like the game has a very deep and rich lore and world building, and I feel like the gameplay, although as punishing as it is also rewarding once you know what you're doing. And that is a reason why it keeps hooking people back in. Because the reality is, as people deem Fear and Hunger Termina as the quote-unquote edgelord, like I can't say it. I can't bring myself to say it. But there is more to Termina than what meets the eye. And if you are someone who is just watching the stream despite never playing Fear and Hunger Termina, please go try it. And have fun. Depend on, you know, how much you die. Oh, okay, I'm good. So let's continue back. I want to bring up an interesting point with fight action. Oh, let me read a message. Your favorite enemy is? I saw your Wrecking Gang tweet. Oh, people are coming from that tweet. Fuck, right. I don't know people drew fan art of them, so I thought that was cool. Oh, that's why I have 2 banger tweets in the last 2 days, and I think that's the reason why more people are flooding in. Damn. All right. But my favorite enemy in the game. That is hard to say. Design-wise, my favorite enemy is Valkyrie, the Moonscourge version of Karen. I love Valkyrie. But if there's a second favorite, I would have to, God. Let me go into this. The new viewer also have an introduction visual. Oh yeah, Yash, the lovely editor. You can see her inside the chat right now. The main intro video that you can find on this channel, you can go watch it right now. Will give you a general vibe on what this channel is about, and it is lovingly made by her. Yes. Game design wise, ooh. I mean, it has to be like a boss fight that is fun to fight, which is a sentence that cannot be said for a lot of the bosses in the game. Let me just go through the enemy list and see what piques my interest. I mean, design-wise, the owl cultists are really fun to look at, but you know, they kind of just summon an enemy and permakill you. Like, all these are just so... I feel so mad towards all of them, you know what I mean? I can just look at like something like Valkyrie and I go, wow, that design is so fucking cool. That is the best thing ever. This is the best thing on earth. I love Valkyrie. But that's kind of where it kind of ends, because I can't think of like a boss fight in Terminate that I would describe as like really fun. Would you consider T as your secondary name now? Mint T would sound pretty cute. It's a cute nickname, sure. And also, for those of you who are, I do appreciate you guys mentioning the viewer to me, because that means that this video is, this stream is happened to be very into the algorithm, and people are seeing it a lot now, and that's really nice. However, the more you're mentioning it, I'm going to have a panic attack. I'm not joking. Earlier when we had 30 viewers, I have a mini panic attack and I feel like I couldn't breathe. So let's keep it low, keep it down low. Keep it humble essentially. Oh, right. Yes, Nina. I refer to the thing that I do. My lovely partner Boris. Whenever I have like a dumb idea that I could post on my main Twitter account, I ask him like, does it seem like a banger to you? And if he says okay or whatever, we'll send it and see how it goes. I remember one of my popular tweet that I had is that one tweet where I said, breaking news, Miro Harivinen, a creator of Fear Hunger Termina, has got his hand stuck on a Chinese finger trap for the last 2 hours, and until the update drops, until he figure out how to get out of the finger traps, the update is unfortunately will have to stay on pause. And that is my most popular tweet ever. I think it's like 2,700 likes, something along those lines. Yeah. For your, I don't know, cause I don't watch. Oh God. I don't know the economy in which how the Fear and Hunger viewership works around, but as of right now, I think it's doing well. God, I'm just gonna have a peek at how much viewer I have. Anyway, hi guys. Yeah, I guess the people are being drawn in for the fact that massive shout out, cause there's somebody have already made a Fear and Hunger TTRPG. Hold on, Fear and Hunger TTRPG-itch.io. Somebody already made one, and I would like to give a massive shout out to them, cause I did no, this one. Hold on 1 second. I'm not born in 1967. No. Da 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 da. All right. Say hi to this thing. Yes. I'll send the link of this into the chat so people can see it. But my TTRPG isn't the only option that you have in regards to you wanting to play one of these. Though, although I do have to say, actually, I want to check her. Is it she her pronouns? I can't remember. I'm going to assume she her, and if I'm wrong, I hope I am corrected. But a large part about her design is that it is designed around Fear and Hunger 1 rather than Fear and Hunger 2. So I guess we're just kind of like, working on two different, very different system. Because hey, I would say that Fear and Hunger 2 Termina has a lot more mechanic, but also at the same time a lot less. It's so hard to describe it, but I feel like I enjoy Fear and Hunger 2 more. And because of that reason, I can confidently make a system for it without needing to referring to the wiki or playing the game a lot. And I feel like the same thing is happening with her, where I think her experience comes from Fear and Hunger 1, the majority of it. Alright. Blah. Let's go back to it. Oh, the pyro video. I think that's, yeah, that makes sense. Let's go back to the combat action, yeah? So, guard action. I mean, is there more to say? You take this turn to guard yourself. You, and I was also gonna specify the player. The player will use this turn to defend yourself, bracing yourself for any incoming damage. Earlier, remember when I mentioned that you would roll your fight dice and see how damage you deal? Let's do an example of that right now. Dice Roller Online. Yes, we'll get to it, Levi Domac. Give it a second. Let's say my fight dice is a d12, right? Oh, that's not a d12. Let's say my fight dice is a d12. I roll really badly and I deal 3 damage in that attack. Now, if I take the guard action, whenever another creature attack you, this turn, you would roll your body dice and reduce the damage by that many number. And I hope that this is simple to understand. If this turn an enemy is attacking towards me and it managed to deal 20 damage, I'm gonna scroll up. My body dice is a d4, which is really unfortunate. So I'm gonna throw that d4. I managed to throw a 3. So from that 20 damage, I managed to reduce it to 17. Yeah, we have to talk about the balancing around combat dices a lot. Because if you happen to have really shitty combat dice, you are so dead. You are so dead. Right away, walking out of the train, day 1 morning, fight the first villager inside the old town, you are fucking dead. So we gotta have to like fix on that a little bit. But for now, that is how the guard action works. And by that many numbers. Alright, so fight action, guard action. What next? I'll tell you what's next. Skill action. So what about a 6? Let's just say someone is attacking you, Levi, and they deal 20 damage, right? Let me roll your d6. Oh, you roll a 6. Okay, you reduce that damage by how many? 20 minus 6, that's 14. You still take 14 damage. Oh yeah, I haven't mentioned it. Hold on. I'll mention it later, it's fine. But skill action. This is the section where you, it's right there in the name. They are your special skill. In Fear and Hunger Termina, when you are choosing your profession, when you are choosing like God Affinity, right? God Affinity is such a huge part of Fear and Hunger Termina. Worshipping a god gives you very much tangible benefits, and those come under the form of spells. You, the player, yes, I specified it once, I had to specify it every time. You, the player, will use this turn to activate a skill that is available to you. Which Levi is dead. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, eeny, meeny, miny, miny. Levi Domek is dead. The Levi Funger, alive. There we go. You, the player, will use this turn to activate a skill that is available to you. But Mint, how do you get skill? Well, my dear friend, I got you covered. You can get your skill from soul type. You can get your skill from profession. You can get your skill from God affinity. And we will talk about the God affinity in a little bit. Wait for it. You can get your skill from... Is there any other source? I think this is it. This is a good amount of skills already. Oh, universal skill. When I say universal skill, the hexen, the hexen is like profession as well as God affinity. So yeah, that's how you get your skill as well. Basically, this is a direct one-to-one conversion of how it works inside Fear and Hunger Termina. Is that, well, like I've mentioned many times, these are how you get it. The universal skills include a few of them. So number one, talk. Hey, you know, that sickle villager, technically he could chop you up with a sickle, but what happens if you go, wait, let's talk. And then you roll a dice to see how well you do it. Of course, I did add some rule to how it works, so we will get to it later. So you have talk, you have run. Because let me tell you, not every fight have to end with a battle to the death. If you looking at a fight and go, oh shit, I need to run right away, is right there. And you can clearly see a lot of this came from the main game as well. If I just search up skill list, Fear and Hunger 2. As you can see, talk and run is literally right here. I don't think I want to teach my player the ability to suicide, because I mean, hey now. Yeah. Would persuade and diplomacy would influence this too? Yes. Very much so. However, we haven't really chopped down the mechanic of it yet. We gotta work on it later on. What would the DC of shooting Pav out of shooting Marco and Tanaka be? I mean, here's the thing about Pav is that he starts every combat with first strike. With that knowledge in mind, I believe that the way that Pav works, he would probably have a skill that says at the start of each combat, use your attack action to shoot bang bang for free. And I don't know, that either that is a combat or that is a check. And if it's a skill check, the DC would probably be 10 to 15. And let me remind you, the highest dice is a T20. So even with your best ability, there's still a chance that you're gonna fail it really high. That's why there is like a category to how difficult a check should be. Like something like pick up a mushroom, that's a difficulty of 4. But something like attempting to throw a bomb at Pergole from a distance, that is gonna be a 20. Well, depending on how good you are at skill, maybe that 20 is achievable. We'll get to it later on. Talking him out of it? Oh, so you mean Marco and Tanaka ambushed by Pav, and you had to convince him like, please don't shoot us, right? That is a speech check, DC 15. You think you're gonna get out of it easy? And that's right, number 15. Meaning that even like, either you have a D20 in your speech or you're fucked. Although there is a mechanic to fix that, but I can't talk about it now because we're still focusing on the core, the combat action that you can do. So yeah, we'll go to it soon. So skill action. You spend this one turn to use whatever skill you have, and by default, every single skill in the game costs 1 action to use. We'll get to it, Levi. You're too fast. Relax. We'll get to it. Alright. So you got attack action, you got guard action, you got skill action. What is next? That's right, folks. Item action. You see it coming. Every single TTRPG has it. Every single indie horror RPG has it. Item action, as exactly as it is described. You open your inventory and you pull out an item that you can use, and then you use this turn to activate it. This could be a healing potion. This could be a bomb. This could be a throwing knife, a throwing plate. This could be a variety of things, but it has to fall under the item category. And we'll talk about what kind of items that you get later on. I'm sorry, the word later on is repeated a lot in here because I don't want to overwhelm people with too many mechanics when I'm just explaining the basic premise of the game. Alright? Keep it as simple as possible. Oh god. Alright, let's continue. Back to item action. You use your turn to use a consumable item you have available to you. Could be a bomb, could be a throwing knife, and etc. Now, in Fear and Hunger Termina, we have one more action that you can do during combat that I would like to address is the equip action. You know in Fear and Hunger, right? You equip weapons, you equip armors, you equip accessories. There is a combat action where you spend one turn to basically swap those items out, swap those like helmets, those armors, those weapons with each other. Well, that is actually the same thing as your item action. That's right, item action consists of two things. You use your turn to use a consumable item, or you use your turn to essentially re-equip your oh my god, I don't know what's the other word for equipment. I guess you use your turn to swap out your equipment. There we go. I can do grammars. Imagine glass shards too. Yes, glass shard does belong to that category. Let me add that in. God, how OP do we want to make glass shard in our system? No, thinking too far. Just thinking of the simple stuff first. Alright. Or you use your turn to swap out your equipment. That is your item action. Is there anything more? My friend, there's always more. Say hello to the most beloved mechanic that I genuinely adore from Fear Hunger Termina when in regards to the combat system. Rev up. You see, in combat, at the end of every turn, you gain what is called a rev point. 1 rev point, 2 rev point, 3 rev point. And what do you do with those rev points? Well, you can use an action to call rev up. I have to go to combat manual on the main page because genuinely, like, the way that I describe it could be really confusing. There we go, rev up. As the fight goes on, you will get more rev points natural, as you can see from your rev points increasing every turn. Use 1 or 2 points to boost your strength, or 3 to add 1 additional attack to your string. There are also different skills that might require rev points to be used, as is mentioned in the skill description. And that's it. Huh? My grandpa gave me like a bowl of soup. That's very nice of him. I can't eat my soup right now, I'm doing something, but I'll eat it later. Let's continue, yeah? Rev up is a really good mechanic. Bye-bye, Sauce. Thank you for joining in. I used to be so confused on what it was when I first saw the game. To be fair, you gotta read the combat manual in order to understand it. And I'm glad that at least Miro made the book is available to everyone. But you know, it's reading. Eat your soup. I'm gonna eat my soup later when I'm done explaining how mechanic works. So, at the end of every... I'm gonna scroll down 1 second. At the end of every turn, you gain a rev point. You gain a rev point to a maximum of 3. Now, the special thing about rep point is that they are actually more valuable in our system. In the main game, your rep point is essentially a secondary resource. Like certain spells need rep points to work, and using 3 rep points allow you to do more damage with your physical attack. In our system, it works similar, but it's actually more, what's the word, versatile, to a maximum of 3. During your turn, hold on, during your turn does not cause an action, you can choose to spend up to how many rep points that is available to you to do the following thing. That's right. Even when you use 1 rep point, that also increased your damage by a small number. So, because of that reason, I decided to implement that mechanic into our system like so. 1 rep point spent. Increase whatever roll you're about to make by 5. That's right. Hey, you wanna attack someone, spend 1 rep point, that's an extra 5 damage. Hey, you wanna guard a little better this time? Spend 1 rep points, then you can reduce an upcoming damage by 5. That is very valuable, right? It's basically make the combat system a little bit more versatile and a little bit to your favor. And of course, let's address the elephant in the room. Let me scroll up a little bit. Certain profession and certain origin allows for you the ability to start your combat with 2 or up to 3 rep points. That's very valuable. Those rep points are going to be what's going to save your life. Remember the earlier example? I managed to roll a 3 and the damage incoming is 20. I could reduce that incoming damage by 8 if I just spend 1 rep points. So let's continue. 2 rep points spent. I'm gonna copy this so my life is easier. Increase whatever you roll you're about to make by 10. And then finally, 3 rep points. This is the maximum amount of rep point that you can spend in 1 turn. With 3 rep points spent, you increase whatever roll you're about to make by 15. And you also add 1 extra attack if you choose the attack action. Cause a really interesting thing about Termina is that the gun, right? When you choose 3 rep point with a melee weapon, like let's say I'm going to beat someone to death with this glasses. When I spend 3 rep points, instead of attacking once, I actually attack twice. For some reason with the gun, that also works, where instead of just shooting once, you shoot twice. And despite that fact, you only use 1 ammo. So it's very valuable for gun builds, yeah. I only ever really use 3 rounds, to be honest. The double attack is just too good. Yeah, basically. It really brings up into like a mechanical point where it's like, so if you save up all of your rep points, you can use it for 1 really massive big damaging turn. Or a different playstyle where you basically deal incremental damage over a few turns. Like the moment you have a rep point, spend it, attack. Either you shield yourself up for a few turns and then bam, 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 kill them, or you just keep going at them with every rep point that you have the moment you get it. So yeah, that is Rev Up, and that is the 5 combat action you have in this game. Every single combat is gonna be like this. That's it. That's all there is to it. You're good. And I would like to hear some feedback. Ice cold soup. It's not ice cold soup. It's warm. It's hot. That's why my grandpa gave it to me, because he doesn't want it to go cold by the time the morning arrives. But I would like some feedback on so far. What do you guys think about the system? Do you guys think it is simple to understand, or is it too complicated? The way that I've been describing and explaining it, I would love as much feedback as I can. because that would help me improve the system, and that would help me. Well, it mainly helped me out improve the system, I guess. I didn't know why I said "and" there. And I'm gonna drink water because I've been talking a lot. Hey, hey, hey. Please eat the soup while it's still hot. Eh. I have one bite. I'll have one bite. Compared to something like Pathfinder, it's easy to understand. That is the intention. Because ultimately, I don't want to create a combat system that is too similar to D&D. I think it seems pretty cool and fairly simple to understand. Lovely. Lovely. That is the end goal here. Hot. Oh, really hot. Ooh. I really appreciate that question because we actually do have the implementation for it already. So let's talk about how Hexen works in the main game termina. I believe this section is, let's see, two main aspects of the game. Let's go main mechanic of the game. Main mechanic of the game. D&D is a good example of what not to do when making a combat system, so you're doing pretty good. Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of time I do feel like the combat system in D&D is just a little bit too complicated for the average person to get into. Because ultimately, the more dice you roll, the more number you add, the more math you need to do, the more difficult it is to do it consistently and have fun. And with that in mind, our system is like, hey buddy, literally in order to fight someone, you roll your dice, which just so happen to name fight, and then you attack, and then you deal that much damage. That's it. That's it. But I'm gonna bring back. Unfortunately, I can only see your at. And it says Kail, and I don't know what to refer to you, so I'm gonna use that one. But if you have a different one, please tell me. Kail, you asked me how does the hexen and different soul type works. Well, actually, hexen. Now, to access the hexen, well, I'm gonna go into it later, but let's just say there's a lot of different ways to access the hexen. You either go to sleep or you access a hexen table. Either way, you can call me Hazel or Evelyn. Okay. Hazel. Hazel, when you kill someone, and specifically, I have to be very specific about this. When you kill another contestant, you absorb their soul. And this is very specific. You need to be someone who deal the killing blow. The reality of the festival is that it is a death festival, and depend on how the game will go, people might turn on each other and people might try to kill each other. And because of that reason, there is actually an incentive to make the mechanic behind it good, and that's why the hexen exists. When you kill another contestant, you absorb their soul and add it into your skill tree. That's right, we refer to it as skill tree. Add it into your skill tree is every passive and active skill that contestant has while they were alive. Let me give you an example. If Karen kills Marco, then remember the skill tree I mentioned where Karen can spend a soul stone to basically purchase like diplomacy and like lockpicking? Well, suddenly on that tree will grow another branch, and in that branch is the stuff that, let's say Karen killed Marco, right? All of the skill that Marco has will show up on that tree. Soul type feature is unique and cannot be purchased. However, stuff like, buddy, I design profession like that for a reason. Like every single stuff like this. Like if I kill Hendrik right now, onto my skill tree, with the cost of one soul stone, I can unlock pocket spice, I can unlock knife handler, I can unlock efficient wrapping technique, all of which requires me to access the hexen. So number one, that is how you do it when it comes to killing other contestants. But the hexen isn't reserved for that only. The hexen also have access to God spell, In the main game Fear and Hunger Termina, whenever you worship to a god, you gain affinity to that god. There is various action that you can take to gain god affinity, so let's keep it simple. Let's just say you got the god affinity. What happened now? Well, oh my god, grammar. One second. Ay. In the Hexen exists a universal skill tree. Minor spelling mistake. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you, girl. Stop it with the fucking. I can't be good with the grammar all the time, with the spelling all the time. In the Hexen, there exists a universal skill tree for all contestants. These are the spell lists. The spell is, well, like I said, there is a few, not even a few. There's like 7. There's like 6 different 6. Oh my god, I can't say 6, 7. I feel so bad saying it. How much god is there in the game? Fuck. 1 second. I'm gonna search it up. Cause I fucking god affinity. There we go. There we go. Alright. No, this is for Fear and Hunger 1. I wanna see the one for Fear and Hunger 2. Hold on. Oh, let's just go skill list. Skill list and Fear and Hunger 2. There we go. Inside the game, God Affinity, there exists 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank God there's only 6. In the game exists 6 god, and whenever you gain affinity with these 6 gods, you will have access to the spell lists available in that skill, in that god's like a hexen area. Let's say I gain like 2 affinity into the Grogaroth skill. I'm messing up my words, but you get what I mean. I will then have access to Necromancy. I would then have access to Blood Golem. I would then have access to Herding. Depend on how much affinity, and it's literally right here. How much affinity you need to unlock something is right here. So it's really as simple as if you have the affinity and you access your Hexen, bada bing bada boom, you can just get it. You can just get it. Yeah. That's it. As simple as it gets. We'll go over how does like resting and how does accessing your Hexen work later on, because I feel like today is to introduce the base mechanic for people to understand how the game works. Sorry, there's something stuck in my mouth. It's the mushroom that I ate earlier. The Fungal 1 Hexen is a pain to navigate. You tell me about it. God, my leg. Alright, let's continue. Any more question about game mechanic and any confusion that anyone might have watching the stream from then to now? If you have more stuff that you're curious about, please just type it out. I'm here to listen. If not, I'll move on to the next section where I would talk about a mechanic that makes this unique from the main game Termina, where we kind of like move the timeline a little bit and get something unique and different. Oh god, we should really implement like a timer thingy. Like whenever the timer runs out, it reminds me to drink water and stand up and do some stretches, because I can feel my back killing me right now. Ugh. Combat. Alright. Seems like nobody have questions, so let's continue, yeah? So, audio was a bit too low or here for me, but I'll definitely give the stream another watch later if I remember. Making the rules readily available would help a lot though. Rocks is in the tabletop section of our Discord. If you go into like the pin section, you can just find it right there. And I hope the stream audio has been consistent, but seems like we're having some like audio issue. The mic is really old and I haven't got enough money to buy a new one, so we just had to deal with this for a little bit. What else am I gonna cover? Oh my god, fear and hunger. I mean, it's literally there in the game. Another aspect of main mechanic of the game is the fear and hunger level. There we go. Would non-lethal ways to finish combat while still fighting be possible? Yes, absolutely so. And we need to make sure that have to be implemented into our system. Because let me go into something real quick. I mean, everybody knows him. Everybody knows him. Come on, give it up for Moonscorch Villager. Come on, give it up for Moonscorch Ghoul. This fucking guy. This guy is an introduction to a mechanical fungi that I found very underrated. Is that the talk action matters. By talking with this guy and by passing, and let's say for our system, right? If you go into combat with this guy, if you roll well on your speech dice, you can just convince him to stop fighting you, and that's it. It's really as that simple as that. Um, of course, by making it too easy, we risk the chance of players trivializing our challenges. So we'll leave it up to chance whether or not they succeed. You could try to convince this guy to not fight you, and you could succeed or you could fail. But you can try again on the next turn, and then you can try again on the turn after that if you fail again. It is, you know, trials and error. Trials and error. Hi, that kid. Good to see you. Non-lethal ways to end combat is possible, however, that is dependent on what kind of enemy you attack or what kind of enemy you fight. I feel like with someone like the Heartless one, it's gonna be almost impossible to convince her that, hey, I know we're fighting to the death right now, but can we not? You know, we can't do that. But this is something that that's more work for me to do. But when I eventually design like enemy stat block and enemy character sheet, we could add like this enemy can persuade to stop combat. This enemy can be persuaded to do XYZ. This enemy can be persuaded to do things like that. Or this enemy can be intimidated to do XYZ, stuff like that. And although that is extra work to do, a lot of it, and God bless to the person who is running the wiki.gg page for Fear Hungry Termina, it is so well documented because all of those stuff is available here. And as long as I have the basic template to how to convert the game in a really good way, I can just boom 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 like that. Sorry, I have a really weird taste in my mouth. What the fuck do you mean I have 60 viewers? That's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. Holy fuck. It really just spiked like that. Like that's fucking crazy. Hmm. Pay no attention to the viewership behind the curtains. Alright. If I pay attention too much, I'll go insane. So let's go back to the system, right? So fear and hunger level. We have 6 viewer mints. What do you mean? Only 6? Alright. That actually does comfort me a little bit more. We have 1 viewer? Well, I guess that one person in chat, you're going to have a blast talking with me. Fear and hunger level. You cannot make a system surrounds Fear and Hunger Termina without implementing Fear and Hunger. And then, okay, enough with the bit. And then, because of that reason, this is basically like a negative status effect. Let me go into the core mechanic for you guys. As players survive encounters after encounters of dangerous combat and exploration, eventually doubts and desperation begin to build up within their minds. This is what fear levels are. The higher your fear levels are, the most frightening the outside world becomes to you. Enemies feel deadlier and almost impossible to defeat at times. And that is what fear are. To simplify it, they are basically negative status effect that naturally builds up as you just continue to walk around the world. Where were I? Sorry. As you walk around the world, your fear begins to build up, and you either need to like drink alcohol or go into like a safe location and stay there for a little bit to remove that fear level. And don't worry, we will get to those later. But for now, just know that your fear and your hunger, as it builds up, your character gain negative status effect, like this one. Any roll you make while your source of phobia is within sight is reduced by 3. And I hope the wording of that is simple enough for people to understand that, like, if let's just say I'm afraid of goats and I have zoophobia, if I see a goat in combat, everything I made while that thing is here is reduced by 3. And that is so bad. That is so bad. My attack deal less damage, my guard reduce less damage. My skills, like if I casting a spell and that my stuff, my thingy is really low, that's so bad. I'm gonna die. So yeah, don't let your fear build up for too much. And then when you reach a certain point, and that's right, fear and hunger has a maximum cap. And when you reach this cap, that basically means that things are going to be really bad. Enemies that are targeting you ignore all type of damage resistance or immunity. That's right, when an enemy attack you while you have fear 3, you are basically taking full damage. There is no way to reduce that, and that is deadly. I can't stress this enough when I say the early example because player only have 1 action, but most enemy have from 2 to 4. 4 attack is going to kill you straight up. Straight up. Damage reduction matters so much because enemies just deals a lot of damage over the course of like a few turns. You need that. Wowzers, that's not very good. Thank you, Bamboozle. Gonna play Stardew Valley. Have fun. Enjoy. I haven't played Stardew in a bunch. It's been like a solid year. I still have the fucking Stardew Valley expanded mod, as well as Stardew Valley Ridgeside Village, as well as Stardew Valley Ascar, like 3 different expansions downloaded, and I still haven't finished that playthrough. Originally I was going for perfection, but clearly that dream is getting further and further away from getting true, it turning into truth. Let's continue. That's how fear works, and this is how hunger works. But for hunger level 1 and 2, reduce any roll you make with your body by body and fight by 3. Again, really, really bad. When you have the max level of fear and hunger, on average, everything you roll is reduced by 6. That's so bad. That's so bad. Ooh, Nostella, hi. Holy shit, it's been a while since I've seen you. Good to see ya. I'm explaining the Fear and Hunger TTRPG conversion that we're doing. So yeah, most of that is dependencies. Ugh. Yeah. Modern Stardew Valley playthroughs are always fun, but again, it's easy to get overwhelmed, and I am someone who tend to try to make things as perfect as I can. So a lot of the time, I'll end up having just like a very like hard time keeping track of multiple things at the same time, and then you know, things get overwhelming. All right, stop commenting on the viewership. I'll get really nervous. Where were we? Oh, right. As I was talking before, in regards to fear and hunger level, they are naturally built up over time, but there is a way to remove them. With fear, drinking alcohol, taking drugs, staying in safe location. With hunger, well, it's eating food. It's like, I guess there's only eating food. I guess the only way to remove the hunger level is eating food. Although certain, let me scroll up a little bit for you guys to see that section. Certain, where is it? There we go. Certain profession or origin will also allow you a more unique way to remove fear and hunger, but you know, it's dependent. It's very much like, it's way to make your character more unique. So for that reason, those mechanics are reserved for one person only and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just happy that the community is growing. I'm happy too. Oh god, really bad segment, but I really need to pee. I'll be right back. 5 minutes at best. I feel so proud how far we're going. The most insane part about this is that I haven't streamed in like a month. This is like the first stream back, and so many people are joining, and I'm very flattered by it. And I'll be right back. Hey, how you guys doing? I got one that lets me have a wheelchair, so I play. Ooh, aw, that's really sweet. Sure, let Olivia steals Pierre's wife. Sure. I have a mod that turns Pierre into a woman, and I also have a mod that turns Lewis into a woman. That's it. Let's continue. So, that is the main mechanic of the game, is that the Hexen and the Fear and Hunger level. On to the next point I would like to mention is time. Hi, I'm back. How's the progress? Well, to be fair, the progress have already been made. What I am doing right now is to showcase the progress to people. So yeah. Let's continue. The next point I want to make is the time. Because let's be clear about something. The inspiration behind Termina to Tabletop is Call of Cthulhu, Kids on Bikes, and of course a little bit of D&D in there as well. And I want players to have pressure on them. And this is wholly was recommended to me by Hummus. So thank you to Hummus in the chat right now. Because if it wasn't thanks to her, we wouldn't have this mechanic. Termina is a festival, basically a death contest where people will compete with each other to kill each other, and by the end of it, something happens, something really bad happens. Huh? Wait, what did I do? I'm talking about the time notch thingy, and you were the person who recommended the time thingy, the way the time movements work in the game. So, the festival you have 3 days. Each days have 3 phases: morning, noon, and night. And each phase have, what was the number that we add? I think 6, or is it 8? The time notches. Yes, time notch. Let me continue working on it. I appreciate it, Vero. Thank you for staying here. Viru. I probably got your name wrong. But in each phase have 6 time notch. There we go. So how this work is that I will explain it right now. You can't just let your players have free agency over how time movement works. It was 8 hours. Oh right. Each phase has 8 time notch. There we go. Each time notch represented by an hour. So imagine like this. It's like a clock with like 8 notches inside of it. Whatever action a player takes will advance that time notch. Let's say player A decided to cook a bunch of food. That costs you a few time notch. Let's say player B decided to go on a supply run with someone else to get more resources. That pushes the time notch a few more. Let's say player like D is like fighting a combat with like a really dangerous enemy. That moves the time notch a little bit. Every action that the player characters take will move the time forward. And when the time ends, you move into the next phase. And I can't stress this enough, Termina does have a few enemies that will show up as time progresses, meaning that the longer amount of time that you spent in the festival, the more deadly everything becomes. More like dangerous enemy shows up, resource become more scarce. Your fear and your hunger raises as time goes on. It is important that you manage your time. Your time is a type of resources as well. And that's how time moves. Any question? Of course there is like, hold on, let me go to this section. Cause I literally specified over this side. Where is it? There we go, the movement of time. There we go. There is like overworld action, there is combat action, there is of course the ritual. You cannot do Fear and Hunger Termina without the ritual. Let me answer a question first. How do your player characters work? Are they all on the same team or are they separate characters? They are all separate character with their own separate character sheet and separate character origin and everything. However, There's a reason why we made the combat really deadly. It incentivizes every player to work towards the same goal, to work with each other as a team. Because role playing wise, imagine it like this: you are you are like a party of people on this train that has suddenly stopped moving in the middle of nowhere. If you go out on your own, the chance of you dying is so high. Remember the thing I said, I repeat this twice this stream and I will repeat it a third time. Combat is fucking deadly in Fear and Hunger because player can do one action while enemy can do so much more than one. If you go out on your own and you die, that's it. That's the end there. Cause I can't like there's not a linear way to revive people. If someone's hit points drop to 0, they are fucking dead. So because of that reason, because of how like scarce resources become, it's so important that people collaborate with each other. And then if people become dickhead and start killing each other, let the dice decide who comes out alive. Yeah, the same way that a D&D party would work. And this is something that your GM would have to like mention with you during like session 0, where you guys are basically setting up the premise of the game, setting up the characters and everything. Teamwork and collaboration is very important. Because how fun it is for just one guy to just wander off on his own, making checks on his own. Hey, did I mention that when you do like skill check, other people can help you? Did I mention that if you go into a combat with an enemy, it's actually more ideal to have multiple people fight them? Did I mention that legit, how can you have fun role-playing by yourself? It is a game for everyone to play with each other and together. Splitting the party is arguably the worst thing you can do mechanically, gameplay-wise, and role-play-wise. The core rules of TTRPG, never split a character. Can you create a marriage with your homegirl? We will address that later. But the reality, if you want an honest answer, my answer is that no. In the current system, I mean, we are basically just porting stuff from Fear and Hunger Termina. I can probably do something like, maybe there's just like a very special Sylvian ritual site somewhere that allows the combine of 2-person together. But that would create a really iffy situation, because how do you roleplay 2-person combined into one? So yeah. I think this would be so satisfying against certain players. Some of my friends like to go all solo, and it's annoying. Right, yeah. You know, there is like some red flag when it comes to people who play TTRPG. People who are very like self-centered when it comes to their action and motivation and, you know, interaction with the world. They're gonna have a hard time here. I'm telling you. Starting on day 1, if you go into combat alone, you would die like 2 combat. Healing item is not that common to find. Fear removing item is not that common to find. Hunger removing item is not that it's not that common to find these resources for you. And because of that reason, when people collaborate with each other, you can share resources with each other. If you're hungry, I can give you a meat pie, and if I'm scared, you can give me a bottle of beer. If you are struggling in combat, I'm gonna jump over to help you. It's all about collaborative efforts between people. And I'm gonna take one bite of my soup. 1 second. So for those that are wondering what I am eating right now, this is a vegetable soup with tofu, mushroom, carrots, and pumpkin. Bon appetit. Levi Domek asked a question of how would like helping each other during check work. I'm getting to it. There we go. If we're all gonna die otherwise, someone can hold an enemy else so the others can escape. Yes, that is a mechanic you can do. Can players moonscorch? Yes. However, you know what? We actually haven't designed a mechanic for moonscorching. But I imagine it would only make sense for moonscorch to be something that can happen and will happen in the worst scenario. So yeah. Oh, the marriage. I was asking how that works. Yeah, no fucking clue. I have no fucking clue how marriages would work. I mean, you can marry people through legal means and dating and loving people, but I don't. We haven't designed anything related to marriage, so if it's it feels like something that is a little bit too hard to implement it. You know what I mean? I'm also eating pumpkin soup. Hey, pumpkin buddies. Hell yeah. Oh god. Uh, the influence of rare. I can't. Master mode is just not something that we can do. Master mode is too. The mechanic is so specific to be a gameplay thingy. It cannot be converted to a tabletop as easy. So yeah. Maybe you can make a marriage like when you're about to die. Yeah, that helps your teammate continue the fight. I'm considering it. But anyway, we'll walk around it later. Alright. The main mechanic of the game. Hexen, Fear and Hunger, Time. And now let's come to my favorite part. How to beat checks. How to beat skill checks. I've mentioned earlier on the stream that because of the nature of how you distribute your dice affects you, it affects a lot. The way that you distribute your dice and how certain tasks will come up more often than not. Like, let's say you have a D4 for your body and you have to make a body check. You are automatically guaranteed to fail every single time. So that's why we have implemented a mechanic. This is called critical role. Not to be confused with the famous D&D actual play channel. Critical role. Whenever you roll the highest value of your dice, doesn't matter if it's a D4, doesn't matter if it's a D20, every single dice has the highest value. A D4, that's a 4. A D8, that's an 8. A D6, the highest value of a D6, just a 6. Whenever you roll the highest value of your dice, double that value. Double that value. Let's say if I roll a D6, which is a 6-sided dice, and I manage to roll a 6. The result of that is I managed to get a 12. That means that when you're really, really lucky, when things are looking like so bad, things are going to turn into shit left and right, your critical role will make things way more easier for yourself. And I managed to roll a 6. The resulting value from that roll will be a 12. And critical role, I can give you an example on why it's so good. Let's bring our example back to Marina. Let's say Marina is trying to cook some food. Hell yeah. Marina is trying to cook some meat pies. That is a what kind of check would cooking a meat pie be? Let me check. Maybe fight. Yeah, cause you're really fighting the dough and you're really fighting to tenderize the meat. You're like fighting with your ability to make a really good meal. That is a fight check with a difficulty of, let's say, 12. Marina's fight dice is only a D6. However, because she managed to roll a 6, the highest possible value, she will double her results, making it a 12 and allowing her to succeed. And that's how critical role works. And yes, this also works in combat. When you roll your body dice to reduce enemies' incoming damage, if you manage to crit with it, double that value. If you manage to, like when you try to hit someone and you manage to roll a crit with it, double that damage. It's so, yes, like that, yeah. I enjoyed Dimension 20 more. Uh, that without context can't see what you are referencing to. So yeah, you're finding the meat in order to eat as nature meant it to be. Marina trying to hunt down a deer to get that meat and then turn it into some venison meat pie. That could work. Yeah, sure. Critical Role is essentially like in the very few chances that you actually get really lucky, that is, there you go, you win. Well, not exactly win, you just increase your chance of succeeding something way higher than usual. With the system, I had to say the inspiration behind this. Kids on Bike. Kids on Bike specifically said that when you like roll a like roll the highest value of a dice, you double it, and then you advance it into the next dice, and it just keeps like popping off, keeps popping off, keeps popping off. It will eventually lead into like a chain reaction, but we can't do that for this now. That would be too insane. So right now, Critical Role works like that. I heard you mention Critical Role. I enjoy Nat 20 not necessarily being an instance of stats, but simply the best possible outcome. Oh, like that. Well, the thing is, like, hypothetically, if I manage to roll a d20, if I'm gonna roll a 20-sided dice and I manage to land on the highest value, a 20, that roll is turning into a 40. I don't think any check in the game could eventually lead up to a 40, so that's really fucking high. Yeah. Oh my eye, 1 second. Oof. So Critical Role is essentially your way to make the game much more easier for yourself. Now, that's not the only way to succeed a check. There's a second way to do it. Everybody say hi to the halving mechanic. So how does the halving mechanic works? Well, remember this thing. When instead of rolling a dice to see if you succeed a skill check, if the difficulty and I can't type for the life of me, if the difficulty of the check is equal or less than the half value of your dice, you can just automatically succeed it. And the thing I just typed probably sounds really complicated, but I can give you an example right now. Let's just say again, let's bring back to our example with Marina. God, I love using Marina as example. It's just so easy to like paint a picture in your mind what kind of bullshit she's trying to do. Marina is trying to drink alcohol again. Drink like really heavy alcohol. This is a body check. Difficulty of, let's make it like a relatively low number. A difficulty of 5. Marina's body dice is a d10. Because it's a d10, what is the half value of a d10? That's 5. Oh, look at that. That's equal to the DC. Marina can just say, because I'm just so good at this, I can just succeed it. And bada bing bada boom, you're done. That's right. If your dice is like, this is like a moment of like coolness for your character, right? I really emphasize that the higher your dice, the better you are at something. If my dice is a d20 on the fight ability and the fight skill, and someone go, this is a fight check, the DC for it is a 10, how cool it is for your character to be like, well, you know, I'm just so cool with it, I can just beat it. I'm just so good with punching people that I didn't even have to roll, I can just succeed. That's it. It's basically like a way for it to make the game less tedious for your players, because every checks you need to roll, every single combat you need to roll. Isn't it just fun that you can just have like a moment where you're like, yeah, I'm just so good at something that I don't even need to roll for it. Like that. Mariri, please drink responsible. I don't think drinking none of the characters in Fear and Hunger Termina drinks responsibly. Like, whenever your mind goes low, you just chug some alcohol to get it back up. Nobody drinks responsibly in the festival Termina. I'm so sorry. That's just the reality of it. Oh, that's such a good soup. Fuck. That's really good soup. I'm getting teary. Let's continue. So I have covered a lot of different mechanics for today only. I feel like we deserve a much needed break. Let's play some Fear and Hunger Termina. Oh, do I even want to? Let me think about it, because I'm getting. I really did enjoy the talking, because I didn't even realize that I've been talking for straight up 2 hours and 30 minutes. So yeah, they're drinking their heads off to forget the horrors, so no responsibility. Yeah, yeah. Hey Yash, hi, hi guys. You guys doing all right? I'm gonna ignore the fact that you make a 6-7 jokes. I'm not gonna kill you. Okay. Do you do Wordle? Oh, I did not do Wordle for today. Good point. All right. Let's see what today's Wordle is. Yeah, I know how to play. The word that I always use to start is an Omega, cause it just complains. Okay. Artsy. There's an R in it. If the A is not here or here, I assume that. Okay, so something like something A. Well, we haven't tried C and A. C and A is really common. Char, charts, chart, cards, not cards. I mean, it could be. No, there's no S in it. Chair. Ooh, chair is a good one. Hold on. CHAIR. Let's see it. The A is in the middle, but the R is on neither side. A Fear and Hunger asymmetrical game? Boy, you're going to be shocked when I tell you this. Where am I going with this? I haven't tried. Well, surely there's no U in it. Surely. I'm going to pluck. Well, there's no C, but I just want to see if the words is available. There's a K? Wait. Hold on. I can be smart. Where's my... Remember this thing? We were doing Maso mode, and every time I die, I would add like a 0.10 cent into the Maso mode death jar. Alright, we're gonna repurpose this thing. So something, something, A, something, K. Interesting. Interesting. There's a R and a U in it. Big DBD creator played Fungus, so there's a possibility Chromaller gets added. No. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say because we did me and my friends did humor the idea that if the Dead by Daylight has like a collab with like Fear and Hunger, like what is the possible candidate? And we thought of Stitches, Needles, but of course Needles is like a reference to like Arts the Clown, so like that's not happening. Crowmauler is just there, but I feel like Fear and Hunger in general haven't reached that like high level of mainstreamness to me. Cork. Ooh, good one, Rocks. Hold on 1 second. Let's try Cork. Quark. God damn, thank you, Rocks. Alright, that's a really good one. Yeah, I don't know if Miro had Rivenin is like into Dead by Daylight in the same way like that, but the idea is fun, the idea is cool, and there's nothing wrong with just like throwing ideas in the wall, right? Yeah, we got it. Cork is a word. I believe Cork Drive. Oh, Cork Drive is a Pokemon ability apparently. Cork means any number of a subatomic particles carrying a fractional electric charge. Oh, I was thinking of quartz. Yeah, I was thinking of quartz with a Z because it's a type of mineral. God damn. Yeah, some science word, yeah. I should do asymmetrical horror games tier list. How much, I know in the top list I already have a few. Fear and Hunger, Termina, Signalis, Ooh, look outside. Look outside has stolen the hearts of so many people. And I'm glad the game is getting more coverage because seeing all the fan art has been really fun. What other asymmetrical indie horror game that you can think of? SCP Secret Laboratory is great. I haven't played that game, so I wouldn't know. Look outside mention, buddy. I stream Look Outside all the time. Come on, I love Look Outside. Yeah, I was thinking of these things. Oh, Rose Quartz. Fucked up what she did in Steven Universe. Fucked up what she did. But I still love her. She's a good character. Alright. When will T play Darkest Dungeon? I hate to say this to you. I hate to say this to you. I really do, but I don't think my PC is strong enough for Darkest Dungeon. I just think it's too hard. I just think it's way too hard. How the fuck do we have more viewers when I stop talking about the RT? Guys, you're being clickbaited. I'm taking a small break. I'm not doing this thing anymore. We're just having like a chat. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Mint or T, and I use she/her pronouns, so keep that in mind. You promised him Darkest Dungeon 1, but I don't know. The game just seems too heavy for my laptop. Not laptop, my PC. For my PC to handle. Play this War of Mine, I guess. No, just no in general. I feel like it has to be something simple. It has to be something light for my PC to handle. And the vibe about it too is that, like, I suppose that I could play them, but probably play them off stream. Probably just play them in my own free time, which has already been occupied enough. Like, this thing has been, hey, I can't stress this enough. The TTRPG has been working on every single day for the last month. Every single day I wake up, I open Google Documents, and I go, okay, so what do we do with blank soul? How do I incorporate the idea of a dominating soul type? Like, that happens every single fucking day. It gets to a point where I bring my own laptop into my college to type out these things during class. My time is plentifully occupied, and the time that I do have for myself, I'm just playing Fear and Hunger and Look Outside. That's it. Do you plan on changing the channel name? No. T doing stuff yay is functionally as it is, and I'm just gonna keep it like that. To be fair, Fear and Hunger Termina has the file size of 1 GB, and it runs relatively fine with me. The issue is, I just don't feel like the file size doesn't really reflect how the gameplay is gonna look. Cause like maybe the game could be more heavy, and then I would just struggle and be painful a lot when like dealing with like the file size and blah 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 and blah blah blah, right? Oh god, my nose is feeling really blocky. I might be sick. Ugh, Jesus. Alright, let's all play some Fear and Hunger. Let's go have some classic fun. Shall we? Fear and Hunger Termina. There we go. No, don't be sick, T. I'm sorry. If I contract a sickness, I just contract a sickness. What can I do? I do have to mention that I do have like a few. Oh god, it's gonna be a very busy year upcoming for me, cause I did have like I think I was in a marina run, right? Yeah. I recently got into like a new job, as like a like, instead of being a teacher's assistant, I'm fully a teacher. Wanna tag along? So yeah, I'm gonna be really busy in the upcoming year because I'm gonna be straight up running to my like students' house to teach them English. And I already have some teaching experience from like working as like, you know, a teacher's assistant, as well as like teaching a few like kids of my own, but now I'm doing it in person, and that's crazy. That's great for you. Yeah, it is. You know, yeah, it does make me happy. You're fully a teacher now? Oh my god. Well, that's only happens after January. After January, it will be like official. Okay? You sure you shouldn't mind fill up mine first? I'm fine. I'm 100% fine. Congrats on the new position. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I need to focus. I completely forgot what kind of stuff do I already get. So let me check. Items. Da, 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 da. By the looks of it, have I got all the... I'm not sure. Let me check. I came into this with the assumption that I have finished a bunch of like progress and done a bunch of stuff already, but I don't know how much have I done. Okay, so this thing is open. Am I going for ending A? I guess we could just do it right now. Sure. I believe that I did have like a goal in mind with this run, but I just struggling to remember what it is now. Hope the job treats you well. I'm happy for you. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is not day one. No. Alright, because now we're playing the game, I actually have a chance to talk about it. So how location is gonna work is that me and a few people from the Discord server has agreed to one thing. Is that the way that location in the game is gonna work is that it's actually... Sorry, I just like was it like a little bit like distracted. But how it's gonna work is that you as a game master of this of the Fear and Hunger Termina TTRPG, you will have the ability to essentially create your own map of Preheval. We will basically provide you with a list of locations and list of areas and list of sections of the city, and then you can fill up those sections with how many ever like stuff you want. There is some regulation, there are some rules to what you can do, but you can basically design your own city of Preheval with its own location, and that is very exciting. That is incredibly exciting. Cause like for people who have already played Fear and Hunger, they're just gonna go into the game, into the TTRPG with a thought in mind that, you know, I know where this area is, I know what to do here, I know what to do there. Everything is done, everything is settled. And that's... and imagine that can be really annoying, you know? West side is on. East side is on. Oh, east side is off. I'm missing one telectroscope. Tunnel 1, right? Hold on, let me remember. West side would be the bunker 7. Tunnel... wow, fuck, I don't remember which one this is. I have no fear, but I must hunger. I have no... I can't make a joke. Oh, there we go. I have no arms and I must use a two-handed weapon. I have no left arm and I must use the bayonet. Nailed it, T. Good job. You did great. You did amazing. You did fantastic, by the way. The one with the Tanaka doppelganger, I believe that is the one that we're heading to right now. That's probably the one that we're missing, but you know, best is like check all of it. Don't me. Come on, my joke was fine. I don't think we fought the circle because I think I was just scared. Oh, do I want to fight the circle? You know, I can have some, I can be a little silly with it. I can have some fun with it. And Bozo agree with you? I don't care. Ask me if I care. I don't. Don't care. Not at all. -2. God, I'm not even gonna get fundings and anything. Holy shit. The tea economy is in shambles. I'm sure she makes one bad jokes. Okay, that was a bit too much. Hey, save some fucking... Save the -2 for when I have like a really bad jokes. That's a rule here, you can only use it so many times. We're taking away your mint coins. Oh, fuck. My fucking mint coins. Fuck. I'm so excited for the update. We are basically getting like a new game. In the terms of like how big it is, I mean, Miro has like stated multiple times that he just ends up keep adding more and more stuff into the game, and that's really fun. It's just the fact that we have to wait. Right now, my lovely sibling of not my own blood, Coco, have make a bet that Fear and Hunger 2 is going to, the Fear and Hunger 2 update is gonna show up in around maybe 1 or 2 years from now. Now my bet is that it's gonna show up in the next year. 2026 is gonna be the year of Fear and Hunger Termina 2 update. We're gonna get like, slum, lakeside slum and Gobro Savoli, and I'm excited for that. Imagine the update kills your computer. Surely not. Don't be saying something like that. Come on. No. Termina the next year. We are in 2026, yeah. So my bet is that it's gonna happen. Yeah, go white girl, go. Yeah. My bet is that it's gonna happen this year. And I hope that my bet rings true. I hope. God. No, this thing is on. Huh. So not the Tanaka one, obviously. What is the other two? I know there's one in the starting area. This is the one that is connected to the moonless area. So which am I missing? Miro, please, I need that update. Miro, please. Please, bro. Please. We need that fucking update bad. The Green Hue and Fungar one still tanks my PC. That is a thing that is like... My friend educate me on it. Is the fact that Miro is pushing like RPG Maker to its like very fucking limit, that the game just becomes so janky at certain point. Like this is like, it is a miracle, like an actual miracle that we have Fear and Hunger functioning the way it is, because of how, given that the game does have a lot of like jank and bugs and everything, that's understandable. Let's go for teacher class inspired by T. Well, that's a bit. Well, I mean, it's healthy to be a little bit self-centered sometimes, but I feel like if I added something like that, people would comment on it a lot. Like, oh, she added a whole teachers like as like a profession inside her own TTRPG because she is a teacher herself. Kind of self-centered to me. But if I can make like a plausible and like understandable way to make it work, I'm sure no one would mind. I'm not scared of these guys. I have a full team. Officer Sword, Black Steel, Mauler, Circle Spear. Man, I am decked the fuck out. I feel good. Yeah, I agree, Hummus. It's gonna be fun. The game is glued with duct tape and toothpaste and it's still peak. More like, it's like the game is like a fucking a building apartment that you can live inside, made out of duct tape, toothpaste, glue, and a lot of like paper mache. And it's a really lovely building, but the foundation of the building is ooh, that's bad. No. Miracle Wonder. That's why you gotta sing the praises to Miro whenever you can. Is it to Coconut at this point? I haven't, no. How true is that sentiment? Let me think. Is it dog in the spawn? Oh, I already killed the dog. Alright, sick. Alright, let's see if I'm right with this one. When I was designing the TTRPG, the idea for location is as follow. Oh yeah, I definitely haven't done this area. The idea for the location is that each place in the city is split into sections. Like we have section 1, the outskirts, section 2, like the main city, west Preheval, south Preheval, east Preheval, etc., etc., right? And then in each section, there are like places that guaranteed always there. Like the train always had to be there. It just makes sense. The bunker always had to be there. Like the museum, the mausoleum, those area are always for sure guarantee needs to be there in order for the lore to continue and the gameplay to like make sense. But other area like restaurant Billy Vu, Prehivo Bob, the bookstore, the abandoned apartment, abandoned houses, broken down shack, or like sorry, enemy placement, stuff like that. We can randomize it, and that's really good. Oh yeah, we definitely haven't been down here. Hi Rayla. Alright, we found a way. And it kind of really gives off like a, the more agency you're given to the players and the GM, the better the game feels and the more natural it is to just play the game as it is. Thank you, Abella. Alright, show me that chest. What is it? Deathmatch is really good. What the fuck? Why did I get this in my other playthrough? Hold on. Is Marina is like a does Marina know magic? Hold on. No, yeah, she has hurting, black orb. Goddamn, she got it all. Alright, hell yeah. By the way, you can keep Tanaka alive while recruiting Abella if you just like leave the bunker as soon as she joins your party. Yeah. I do appreciate the amount of time that Tanaka dies, as well as the amount of time that you can technically save him. I do that is like a really funny aspect of how how Miro designed Tanaka as a character. And given the fact that his soul type is called the latent soul, like you're never gonna reach your true potential because you keep dying. That's very thematically fitting, and I find it really interesting to look at. I wear my headphone for a while, feel like I need to break. I'll be back. Yeah, please do. I'll see you in a little bit. Right, we should be able to like get into the ending now. Our party is so stacked. I don't think we're gonna struggle at all when it comes to like fighting Lagarde and Rayla. So let's just go to the ending. Now I do have to admit something that in the last recent month, I find myself very much like burnt out from playing Fear and Hunger. I've mentioned before is that like Fear and Hunger is very enjoyable to me because like once you know what you're doing, you kind of just glide through the majority of the stuff in the game, right? Like there's no more issue left. But eventually I feel a lot of the things I do in the game becomes repetitive. You know what I mean? I kind of stop enjoying the nuance and the new stuff that you might find, and I just kind of do the same thing over and over again, and that isn't very fun. Idiot. Fuck you. So recently I've just been paying more attention and focus onto the other aspect of the game that I do like, is that like the TTRPG, the characters, the stories. I've been indulging in like a few archive or our own fiction here and there, and yeah, it's been quite fun. I did enjoy it a lot. Will you consider giving other rabbit hole game a shot? Well, alright. The first game I try. Burb, you know how I feel about Fear and Hunger 1. You know how I feel about it. I feel like I need to, if I get into it, I would be obsessive over it, and then I would probably be burnt out the same. Fucking love this horse guy. Love him. The Hans. I feel like as of right now, I just want to focus on finishing the TTRPG, and then we'll see how we'll go from there. Oh, right. I do have to say something. This is the first stream 2026. The first ever video 2026. And by the end of this year, we managed to have 300 subscribers, and I am very proud of that. There's such a deep amount of pride, because that means that 300 people saw the content that I made and say, yeah, we'll listen to this one girl for that much. time and effort and everything, and that feels very nice to know, you know? Yeah. Oh, my nose is so blocky. I'm definitely getting sick. Ooh. Bee. There's a gun guy here, right? Hold on, 1 second. Shotgun. Get fucked. Get fucked. Get absolutely fucked. You suck. You fucking suck, bro. Yeah, get fucked. Saw blade, gunpowder. Ooh, vodka. Lovely. I would love some like hunger. No, not hunger. I would love some like mind healing items. Something like that. Idiot. I think there is someone down here though. Imagine you have 300 rats in one room. You say, boy, that's a lot of rats. Okay. Alright, sure. Sure thing, buddy. Whatever you say. Oh, he's weak to magic? Really though? Huh. Oh my god, damn. Lock the fuck in. Please. There we go. Of course you raise your shield. Just get... I've tried orange, Mr. Boozle. I honestly can just kill the head if I just like... Well, that's 20 mine. Yeah, let's just do it. I was gonna say I could just red art to the head and that's probably... Wait, no, I don't think that's enough to kill. Because this guy has like increased... Nope, 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 nope. I stand corrected. Hold on. I rarely use party talk because I read most of the dialogue, but you know, we've been given the chance, why not? Really no, Dan. I guess I need to come up with something. For so long I've been nothing but a scope behind a rifle, just looking for the next moving target. I don't want to go back to that. Man. That is the nature of the Festival of Termina, is that most of the people you see there will die. I think that is without debate like one of the core reasons why it is so compelling to play the game and see the story for like what it is, you know? And because of that reason, a lot of the times I feel like... Where is it? 1 second, I gotta feed some people. God, these got hungry people, dude. And a lot of times that is like what draws me in and what consistently allows me to keep my interest in Fear and Hunger Termina lasted for like a very long period of time without like fading or going away or etc etc. I forgot to turn on the fucking thingy. Or I could just kill it. Wait, hold on. Do I have enough power to kill it? This is a metal door. I don't think this is possible. Well, maybe. I do deal a lot of damage. Oh shit, nice. This is why magic is overpowered. I believe we have one more party talk dialogue here, right? Oh, look at that. Fucking... Ooh, that's good to look at. It's very inspirational to see what we can achieve. Basic mechanics seems outdated after witnessing all this. May I open a practitioner and work as a doctor? Yeah. I open a little like doctor office. Although, oh, if he opens up a bar, I can imagine all the contestants visiting him every once in a while. Yeah, you go, Levi. I love the dialogue that you get in there. Alright, we're almost there. Do I have a book of enlightenment? Hold on. I do not. Alright, if we die here, we're gonna lose a lot of progress, and I'm fine with that. Max everyone out. Bremen chest plate, Smalting amulet. Hold on. I don't have the what was it again? Oh yeah. I don't have access to the hardened heart. So we're just gonna try to kill that thing. Kill. Ah. Alright. I'm gonna kill you. 2 random enemy. Double. Go for the head. Or go there for the torso. If we can't hit the head, we'll hit the torso. And we hope that this kills. No, not the arm. Marina, lock the fuck in. Not the fuck leg. Girl. Come on, kill. What the fuck is up with Dan? You've been missing all your attacks. Ah, fuck. We could have ended the battle right there if we killed her. But this is fine. Double black orb. She's almost dead. Marina, lock the fuck in. Thank you. Would it be possible for a group to create a campaign and follow the very simple rule of Battle Royale? Yes. But remember, the festival is actively going against them no matter what, so... yeah, that's kinda it. Really. For a group to follow, that is like... The way that like Termina is that I don't believe the average player can have access to knowledge about the telectroscope and ending A. Like most of the time with a campaign setting, the Termina to tabletop, I feel like the main ending that people are the most easy to access is ending B, where one people survive for the entire festival and it ultimately becomes like a very tragic story. But I believe that it's fun to allow other interpretation of it to happen. I just don't know how to implement those stuff yet. Yeah. Dan! Oh my god! My guy, what's up with you? Am I equipping like a weird item on Dan and that's why he's like doing it like this? I swear to god, if he missed both of his attack. Oh my fucking god. We're gonna murder you. Oh. Tails never fail. Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. You fucking suck. You fucking suck. Get fucked. Get absolutely fucked. Hold on. I realize it's probably better if I just use Black Orb the entire time, but what am I doing? Oh yeah, double Black Orb. Everybody have access to it. Yeah. Analyze. I don't need to analyze where I'm going. I don't know what that meant. Whew. Yeah, Le Dans Macabre does do that to you. Alright, that's done. Well, that's a bit risky now, huh? Let me use some healing item. Wine vial. I do have a bunch of mixed herb, might as well use it. Keep everybody healthy, lovely. Condensed lavender, dark blue root. Some blue herbs. Alright, I think we're all set. Lagar time, let's go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I know the jizz. Come on. Lagar. Francois. And, Chambra. And I don't remember the name of anyone else. There we go. Hi. Right, you know what time it is. I have exactly 4 heroin for 4 people. 1, 2, 3. God, the content warning section of our TTRPG is gonna be filled with this. Like the uses of drug, like just the general disturbance of like fear and hunger termina in general. There's so much stuff we gotta cut. There's so much that we gotta talk about. Lagarde, shut the fuck up. Lagarde. Bro. Thank you. So red arc this arm so he can't like cut off people's limb. And now we just go double black orb. Dan is gonna get rid of this asterisk thing because it's really annoying. For some weird reason, Lagarde have access to, I can't remember what it was, but it was like a, yes, it has access to hurting, which can remove my arm, which is really scary. Oh boy, Kaiser. He is nothing. I'm telling you right now, Kaiser is not a threat. Haha, loving whisper. Oh, this idiot is healing his head. Double, and then you go, no, double black orb. And then you go double black orb, and then you go, and then I guess you just kinda, it is stunned for a few turns, just get rid of the asterisk. Almost there. We're hitting a lot, we're just not very focusing on where our damage is going. Okay, well now we just, come on. Pop off one limb or something, please. If I get rid of the arm, I'll be very satisfied. Okay. Okay. Alright, sure. Double black orb. Double black orb. Double black orb. For some reason, Dan doesn't have double black orb. Made the closest class begging my bold class homegirl to give me a hit on her. Like, what? Oh fuck, that's so right, you're so right. Sorry. Throughout the process of designing the TTRPG, I did not consider once that the botanist profession allows you to make drugs. I was like, yeah, you can dip your weapons in poison and you can make some like really good healing items. You can literally make drugs. That's literally your job. Oh my god, that's gonna be so fun. Well, not in game, obviously. Although recreational usage of drug is fine, I am supporting of that. Alright, bye, Lagarde. Ooh, let me check my resources. Do I have beer and alcohol? I'm fine, right? Yeah. Oh, I have 11 vodka, what the fuck? Sweet. Healing item wise, I got 4 really good healing items and some mid items. So we'll see how this goes. Oh god, one of them has to be the designated meat shield. Who is it gonna be? Let me check. As much as I hate to say it, I think I think the meat shield is going to be Levi. It is. Oof. Oh, that's rough. Do I want to? Oh, but poor Levi. You know what I mean? Should Levi be the meat shield? One of them has got to be a meat shield. Oh my god, that's why Dan's missing his attack. He has a broken eyeglasses. An item that arguably is worse to put on. Fucking hell. It's always him. I'm sorry, Levi is gonna be the meat shield. Makeshift armor. Plank shield. Increases like defense as much as possible. I love Levi. I love Levi to death. He gotta go. Style helm. Death mask. Alright, let's go. Wow, I didn't meant to do that. I wasted my bullets. Why you give the guy with one eye broken eyeglass? I mean, you tell me. Pheromone on Levi. Summon a blood sword to wield in battle. Let's try that. I never, never really give it a chance. Can I pick other people? No, I can only pick it on myself. Levi do guard. Analyze. Magna medicinal. None of that do anything. Alright, let's go. Ooh, the animation is cool. And Levi has been chosen as target. Lovely. Okay, awesome. Raider Black Smog. Let me think. Oh. Do I have any good AoE stuff? Raider Black Smog. Let me check my item real quick. I have a gasoline canister. Dan can use some healing item to make sure the team doesn't die. Oh, nice. Yeah, we're fine. Let's just go one more Black Smog. And then we are trying to set her on fire is the idea here. So Ornament Lantern. Because the moment that we set her on fire, the damage over time will kill her faster than anything we can do. Come on, set her on fire. You can do it. Okay. Yep, Levi's dying just like usual. That's normal. Yes, she is fire. Nice. Alright, triple red, double black orb. Double black orb. And Dan just attack for normal. Imagine like broken glasses, even like, I don't know, the cracks would definitely like hinders your vision. And it's literally the only vision that he has. Wow, okay. Don't waste a Bella's thingy on Black Orb. That is not worth it. Levi, well, I guess Levi just guard. I mean, he's just kind of like a meat shield. Oh, we're on Funger now? Yeah. I had enough fun. I'm just like... We did the thingy already, and Scary, scary. Really scary. Wow. Ay. Greater Black Smog real quick. God damn. Where's my healing item? Light blue vial on her. You. Light blue vial on Levi, because he's a meat shield. Okay. I think Dan is gonna die here. Am I fine with that? I don't think I'm fine with that. I need Dan to stay alive. Do we leave blues on Levi's grave? Maybe. What? Oh, I messed up. Oh, I'm an idiot. That was supposed to be Marina. Ooh. You know, hang in there. Surprisingly well. Okay, cool. Black orb time. Not black orb, black smog. There we go. I only have so many healing items. I think we're gonna use it all on Marina. Oh, Dan is gonna die, I guess. Damn. Double black orb. Double. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Just attack normally. Triple rev attack. Levi guard. Levi guard. And then Don. Don, I pray that he survives. Levi will live this, but Don is definitely dying, which is funny as fuck because I thought Levi is gonna be the one that dies, you know, given the fact that he's been actively targeted. God damn, you're tough. Oh. Oh, Levi's fine. Double black orb. And then Dan just attack like normal. We're dealing very consistent damage, which is nice. Oh, there we go. And nobody dies. Alright. Lovely. Hi, Rayla. God damn, she's beautiful. We win, yeah. Simple as it gets. Yo, yeah, exactly. Exactly. God damn. And I'm actually gonna go to sleep after this because it's 5 a.m. in the morning. I haven't slept at all. But I'm glad that all of you joined in for today's stream. For those of you who are lurking and just seeing the stream in general, I very much appreciate you guys. I hope that I can gather enough like interest and hype into the Termina to tabletop conversion. Because it is a project that I am very passionate into right now. And it's going to be fully for free. Because, to be fair, the IP belongs to Miro. Oh god, my nose. Alright, let's get this over with. Who is alive? I think August is definitely alive. 5 a.m. Yeah, it is 5 a.m. in the morning. Oh. I guess yaoi? Yeah, sure. A little bit of yaoi between those two, sure. Bro. That's funny as fuck. You know, I wonder after this is over, once the update drops, are we gonna have like a because like I believe in Fear and Hunger 1, even when we get like an ending where we didn't even manage to survive, we still have like a little blip of dialogue to show what happened afterwards. We know that B ending will allows you like a picture red ending and everything, right? I wanna see an ending like that for ending A, like what happened to humanity after logic managed to be like set up and everything, you know? Oh yeah, they're both like the ones who killed themselves before they got turned into Moon's Gorge. Branding. I say it's very thematic. I say it's a decently well ending. Alright, I think that's it for today's stream. I'm tired as fuck. But thank you guys for joining today's stream. It's been really fun. Cheating the game, all 14 managed to survive the voyage. Sorry, that's just not how it is. I appreciate you guys for showing up, and thank you. I'll catch you guys later. Today's stream has been absolutely fucking insane, and I appreciate it so much. Good night, fangirl. Good night, local hobbit. Your audio is kinda low. Hi, let me just go closer to the microphone. Thank you for joining in. Yay. I had fun. We're gonna talk about some more in-depth stuff about the game mechanic tomorrow on stream, and I'll catch you guys there. Actually, tomorrow I might not stream because tomorrow's a Monday. I gotta go to college. Love ya. Good night. Yay. Bye. Bye.